Axel, can you please mute your mic?
Okay, so I believe we can start. So
Yep.
I'm going to push the button and then we start. Okay. So
okay, so you count
maybe
down?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe wait a couple of seconds just before starting, actually, so that people will join.
Okay. Yeah.
So 3, 2, 1, and we start.
Good morning. Good morning to you all. A very warm welcome for this ADRA Infoday that is organized by ADRA, the European Commission, the IDL IST network, and supported by the ADRA-E project. We're very happy to have you all here. My name is Joost Geurts. I work for INREA, and together with Ido Bante from the University of Twente and Ana Garcia, we're manning the ADRA office. And today I'll be hosting the session today, which is promising to be very interesting. Nicolo, can we please go to the next slide? So before we start, a little introspection of who we really are. So we had since beginning of the week around 700 registrants of a very diverse audience. So I think this is showing the diversity in our ecosystem, which is exactly the audience that we're targeting here. So I think we're off to a good start. Interesting to see also the 25% other. So maybe we can at some point have a discussion who they are. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so then also some housekeeping rules. So notably on the question of an answering session. So we have a number of plenary presentations from the ADRA, the Commission, and IDL EST. So we ask you. So we have a question and answer session after each of these sessions. So if you have a question to answer, please make sure to use the appropriate button on the bottom of your screen. There's chat and question answering. So the questions go in the question and answering part. Please also indicate the person that you would like to address the question to, or in case of the Commission, if you want to have a specific question on a topic. So you can use the chat for general conversation and comments, and also we invite you to use the hashtag ADRA Infoday for your communication on social media. Next slide, please. So this is a short overview of the agenda. So we'll start off with a presentation from ADRA. By Rich, followed by the European Commission. So we have a strong delegation of representatives from the Commission for the various topics and a very diversity in the number of units represented. As I mentioned, so we'll go through all the topics one after each other, and then at the end there will be a 30-minute slot for your question and answering. So then there will be a presentation by the IDL EST and network, Edina Nemeth, and then we go into second part of the day, which is a number of pitches presenting project ideas or expertise profiles. But I'll get on to that when we get there. So with this, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Rich Walker, chairman of the board. Or chairperson of the board of ADRA. So very happy to have you here, Rich, and please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Yus. Let me just get my screen share up and running. So hopefully everyone can see the ADRA in a nutshell slide there. And I'll just take a few minutes to go through and explain who are ADRA, why you should be interested, and hopefully why you want to participate in the work of ADRA. I'm Rich Walker. I'm the managing director of the Shadow Robot Company, which is a UK and a Spanish robot company. And we're very engaged with this kind of European process because we think it's really important for SMEs as well as large companies and RTOs and research organizations to steer the kind of direction of European AI, data and robotics. So I'm going to run through what is ADRA, why you should be part of it, how it works, and what the benefits are of doing that. So ADRA exists because there is what's called a co-programmed partnership with the European Commission. For those of you who are familiar with that particular piece of EU jargon, a co-programmed partnership is where the European Commission works together with a private organization to design, shape and direct research funding and to bring industry and research on board to make that funding deliver impact for the European community and for the European citizens. So in the case of ADRA, there is a memorandum of understanding between the Commission and ADRA, which talks about how we will direct the public investment of up to 1.3 billion euros through Horizon Europe, and then a matching private investment through industry and research to help build a really strong community and a really strong technical direction around AI, data and robotics research. And this MOU was signed in 2021 and it runs through to 2030 as the PPP process unfolds. So where did ADRA come from? Well, there are 5 organizations across Europe that represent the wider community in AI, data and robotics. Many of you will be familiar with some of these associations. The Big Data Value Association, representing the data community, EurAI, Claire and Ellis, representing various strands of the AI community itself, and EU Robotics, of course, my home organization, which represents the robotics community. And these 5 organizations came together and said, look, together we are stronger. We each bring different parts to the mix, different pieces to the jigsaw, and between us we can build a strong community that can then work with the Commission directly to really address some very, very substantial challenges and very substantial goals around what happens across Europe and globally with AI, data and robotics. And many of you will also be members of these associations. These associations are entities that continue anyway. Each of them has its own specialized home, its specialized purpose and values, and together they come together in ADRA to build a kind of a larger, broader purpose. So don't think at this point that we're replacing any of these organizations. Each of those continues. ADRA exists to provide the Commission with a single reference point, a single point of contact for working on AI, data and robotics in the co-program partnership. So what are the objectives of this partnership? Well, there are 3 very high-level objectives, and these are we think, very, very important. Firstly, Europe needs sovereignty over AI, data and robotics. We can't be buying our robots from all over the world. We can't be shipping our data in and out of Europe, and we can't be dependent on other nations, other powers for our AI abilities. So we need to have a European strand, a European community that can build and deliver those key technologies. We need to establish leadership. As we know from previous iterations of European soft power, for example, the GDPR process, when Europe takes a lead, Europe can change the world in the way we think about really, really important, critical socioeconomic technologies and the way they work and the way they unfold. We think as well that Europe can take the lead on AI, data and robotics and really set a better standard for how that works, for how that functions and how people see that in their day-to-day lives and how we deliver the best possible impact from that. And finally, we want a competitive position. European industry is benefiting substantially from the previous investments of the European Commission in prior framework programs, and the current framework program, we want that to also benefit European industry so we can have a very strong competitive position globally, and that will benefit all of us in terms of better jobs, better employers, better industry, and hence more taxes being paid. So we know that there are policies where Europe has aspirational goals and is currently not really meeting up to those goals. For example, we have the digital decade policy here, and we can see that we have some very strong targets. How do we deliver that? How do we reach those results? How do we make sure that industry is actually doing what we think is important to do, and how we're reaching these kind of quite challenging targets? And this is something that the partnership is working on. And if you, like me, see this as a deficiency, then please come and join us as we help industry understand what it can do and how it can do it in here. Similarly, we have a number of reports around how Europe is doing compared to other parts of the world in terms of things like AI's performance and in terms of robotics performance. And I have to admit that I come from the UK and we do really, really badly on these numbers. But we're not installing as many robots as other parts of the world are. We're doing better than some places, but we're doing worse than others. How can we grow the use of robotics in Europe? We know from talking to organizations like the leading German industrial unions that they see robots as key to increasing their membership, increasing the value of the jobs to their membership, because to get industry in Europe, we need to essentially take the jobs that robots can do, put robots there and allow people to do the more skilled jobs. So how can we get up to the levels of robot installation that, for example, Asia has? And again, this is part of the work of the partnership to understand this and to make this happen. Obviously, the European Parliament has a strong position on AI, as well it should, and really wants us to drive this and push this forwards with many opportunities there, but also many risks. Again, this kind of policy interaction and engagement is something that ADRA sees as a very key part to its role. Because we have the MOU with the Commission, we are the formal point of contact for work on AI, data and robotics. So if you like me see this call to action as a challenge, as a standard to raise, then please come and join us and help us deliver on these challenges. We have some bigger challenges as well. We have you'll be familiar with the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the 5 EU missions. We all know that these are areas where technology has a vital part to play, cross-cutting themes where we can deliver on many, many, many of these missions. We can deliver on many of these sustainable development goals. How do we do that? How do we set the longer term roadmaps and frameworks so that research and development that happens in Europe aligns with these goals and meets them? And that's part of the work of ADRA. And again, if these are causes dear to your hearts, please come and join us as we try and ensure that we shape the technologies that will enable us to reach these missions and to deliver on these goals. Apologies. You can see that some of these are very, very obvious where the technology applies. Cleaning the oceans, there are going to be machines doing that. Those machines are going to be intelligent machines that need to see, they need to understand, they need to act. And that's, of course, what a robot is. For things like safe and autonomous driving, we like to joke in robotics that once it works, it stops being a robot. And a self-driving car is a robot. Well, it would have been 20 years ago. Now it's just a self-driving car because the robotics technology, the big data technology, the AI technology is embedded in there. And of course, smart agriculture, precision agriculture, mapping and measuring and then delivering precise fertilizer, water and pesticides. Absolutely an area where these 3 technologies come together to deliver the results that we're looking for. So what is it that ADRA does? Why would you want to join it? We are the people who will drive the European future. We will be addressing these socio-economic challenges, and we bring together the convergence of AI, data, and robotics. Each of us comes from somewhere where one of those technologies is strong, and together we bring the intersection. We meet that, and we provide a unified, strong voice for AI, data, and robotics research and industry. And I think that's really, really important because, as we know, together we're stronger, but also when we come together, we're not stronger, we're better because we bring disparate voices and then we understand what the convergence of those delivers. We will be developing and formulating these large-scale European research and innovation objectives. We will be helping map out strategic research agendas and roadmaps and technologies. And if you're involved in that process, then of course, not only do you get to make sure that the things you care about are in there, but you get to understand why the other components are there and where you will want to engage with those components to deliver on them. And of course, there are short-term topics. We're currently engaged in the development of the work programs, which are coming out of the Commission in the next few years. And we're helping to build an ecosystem and environment for ideas to flourish and scale up. And that's really, really important, bringing together organizations so that cross-fertilization can happen and then ideas and technologies can grow. So if you're from large industry, what benefit is this to you? ADRA is possibly an organization. Why do you see it as value? The point here is that we are doing the strategy, the analysis, and the policy. We're bringing together the high-level players and providing that pathway to say to the Commission, to Parliament, look, this is what the European community around AI, data, and robotics needs and is doing, and this is how you, as the policymakers, can help and support that. For small companies like mine, for startups, this is a great meeting place. It's a great opportunity to come together with the other players, to build yourself into the ecosystem and to understand and find out what can be done and where the problems are and how you can participate in that and develop new business by doing so. For RTOs and universities, we're setting the research objectives. We're taking the Sustainable Development Goals, we're taking the EU missions, and we're backtracking from that to say, what technologies need to happen? How do we need to grow and develop these technologies? How do then we set that research agenda and feed that through into industry? And of course, how do we build a pathway for the careers for the people who you are training now to build them into the AI, data, and robotics experts of the future? And if you're an end user, if you work in the public sector, then we're the people who are trying to solve the problems. You should come and talk to us because we need that deep understanding of the problem and the deep understanding of the societal context that you bring to help us make those technologies not just work, but work right for you and therefore have the real impact that obviously the Commission wants, the Parliament wants, and we all want here from the AI, data, and robotics technologies. So how do we work? Well, like almost any association, we have a number of topic groups and task forces, and these focus around key themes that we need to address as an organization, key challenges. So we have a very active working group on standardization, looking at the needs for standards covering AI, data, and robotics. We have a working group looking at what policy inputs we should be providing, what policies are necessary around AI, data, and robotics across Europe. We have, of course, the classic road mapping research agenda, the SRIDA development, which is an ongoing process of saying technologically what needs to happen to reach these goals that we have. And then we have more specialized groups. We have one cross-cutting across automotive and mobility, because that's a very active area that spans AI, data, and robotics. Of course, communication and marketing, and thank you to the communication and marketing team for today's slide deck. We put that together. And then we're working with national and regional AI, data, and robotics initiatives. For example, AI Netherlands are a very active participant in our organization because they see that the alignment between their needs and our needs is key to achieving that. And if you're interested in these topic groups, please do get in touch. And if you want to participate in them, drop us a line at that email address there. These slides will be available later. So what's our approach broadly? I've talked a lot about this so far, but just to recap, we want to build on European strengths in AI, data, and robotics. We're not about reinventing the wheel. We're about putting four wheels on the corners of the car and getting the car to go forwards, as it were. We're an open and inclusive organization. We know that we need to bring everyone together to do this, and the best way to do that is to bring everyone together and not to rule people out. We want a broad dialogue. We want to get everybody in the ecosystem participating in this process, not just to make sure their voices are heard, but to make sure that their needs are met by the ecosystem, and to help broker and support trades and business and communications and cooperation within that ecosystem. Within my own association, E-Robotics, we've seen over the years that the value of the association is much more about the connections we build than any of the activities we perform. And we believe that ADRA can benefit everybody in the same way. We think it's very, very important to balance the needs and the representation of the constituencies. We said at the start there are 5 associations have come together. They represent 3 different constituencies: AI, data, and robotics. And we think each of those constituencies is equally important going forwards. We don't want anybody to think that one part of this is far more important than another. We're representing everybody in the community. And also we want to balance the representation between industry and research. As many of you will know, it's very easy for one group to dominate because everybody in research knows what they want to do, so they can all say about the technological challenges. Meanwhile, everyone in industry has the money, so they can fund. How do we balance those 2 groups? How do we make sure that there is equal representation? And that's something that's really codified at the heart of the governance structure of ADRA. So we're building this ecosystem on top of these existing stakeholder communities and striving to ensure the representation of all the stakeholder groups in here, startups, scale-ups, SMEs, large companies, regional ecosystems, research organizations, academia, and wider society. So the formal governance structure, for those of you who are passionate about these things as we are, because we need to be, we have a president and a secretary general who runs the office. We have a general assembly, which is the members. Industry, research, and strategic members get voting rights, and then associate members don't have voting rights. There's a difference in the membership structure there. And then there's a board of directors, which is elected by the General Assembly, and the board of directors is strictly balanced between AI, data, and robotics, and strictly balanced between industry and research. That makes for a certain amount of entertainment in the voting structure, but it means essentially that we ensure the representation across the community is not dominated by any one group, any one voice. It's a broad governance that ensures that everybody gets to be heard. And then when we go and talk to the commission knows that we represent the community, and therefore we're a trusted partner in their deliberations. So who are the founding board? We've been in existence for 2 years now. So we came together as a board representing AI, data, and robotics. And you'll see the 3 communities there, and then representing industry and research. And the board is split 50-50 industry research, and then 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 AI, data, and robotics. These fine people here are all representing the founding organizations, and we're being supported ably by the ADRA-E CSA and by BDVA, Claire, INRI in Paris, and E Robotics, and of course the University of Twente. And our president, Marina Bill, many of you will know from her work in ABB and also of course in IFR. So this is the founding board, and I make the distinction between the founding board and the new board because we're heading into a point where our governance processes kick in and we'll be electing a new board. So membership at the moment, where we have 58 members, 40 from research, 11 from industry, and 7 strategic members. Some of those are from the founding organizations, but not all of them, and they're distributed fairly well across Europe. Obviously, this is a small slice of the European AI data and robotics community. We're very pleased to see the broad representation here, but we'd like more of you. We'd like more of you because firstly, that strengthens our work and our activities, and secondly, because we feel that we should be representative more widely of the community, and therefore we would really like you to all be saying to yourselves, why should we as an organization not be part of ADRA? Please do. If you can think of a reason why you shouldn't, please drop us a line and tell us, because we'd like to know that. Because if we are not the right organization, then we'd like to broaden our reach, broaden our need, and make that work for you. Membership fees, we are a member-supported organization. We have a CSA to run the office, but obviously we have a membership fee basis. If you are a member of one of the founding organizations, whether that's BDVA, E Robotics, Claire, Ellis, EurAI, then because you're already paying a fee to join there, you get a discount on your membership fee. Obviously, if these membership fees are a barrier to your organization joining, then please do talk to us, because we need to understand that and know. But these are very typical fees for European associations. We have to staff an office, we have to provide value to you, and this is the gas in the tank, or the charge in the battery. Maybe we're moving to a new electric vehicle approach, so I'll say this is the charge in the battery that lets us put the kilometers on the clock. As a member, what benefits do you get? You get access to the network, you get access to the stakeholders, you get to help us shape events like this and shape events of policy. You get to help us build the research programs and Horizon Europe around AI, data, and robotics. You get to help us set the research agenda with the SRIDA and the long-term roadmaps. And of course, you get to help us coordinate the position documents, white papers, policies, and improve visibility at a European level. I'm from a small UK and Spanish SME. I'm sitting here talking to 700 of you today, precisely because we're engaged in an organization like this. So it is great for visibility if that's something on your radar. For the industry and research members, you can also propose candidates to the board of directors and vote on the governance structure, and you can lead the topic groups and task forces. Of course, everybody can participate in topic groups and task forces, but setting them up is something we reserve to our industry and research members, because it's precisely their interests, their needs that we're seeking to serve here. So we're coming up to an interesting governance event. In the 2nd of March, we're going to have the first ADRA General Assembly, where we will elect a board of directors. The current board is a founding board of appointees from the founding associations. If your organization is an ADRA member, then you will have voting rights in that, and you can propose candidates for the board of directors. So if you join by the 10th of the month, and you can propose candidates. If you join by the 24th, you can vote. Please go to adrs-association.eu to have a look at how you can join a membership, and drop us an email, and Houston Co will ably help you get yourself signed up and join. And I would say the board, the governance of ADRA is really, really important, precisely because it is through that mechanism that we ensure that we are both representative of the community and acting in the interests of the community. So I would encourage you, if you're participating in the European AI data and robotics ecosystem, to step up and take your place in ADRA, because we need you so that we are the strong voice of European AI data and robotics. So that's all I have for today. I'll stop there. Here are our contact details. You follow us on Twitter, reach out to us on LinkedIn, and there's the email address of the Secretary General. And with that, I'll hand the mic back. Just, are there any questions at this point?
Thanks a lot, Rich. Yes, we do have some questions. So notably one from Eva Servoli, who asks if organizations that are in third countries, so countries that aren't part of the EU, or an associated country, can become a member of ADRA.
I think the formal answer to that is yes, of course, but the exact membership status that you'll have, we will need to look at and work out. Since ADRA's goal is to shape European policy and to direct the Commission, then our governance structure needs to be very much a European governance structure. But obviously, if you are one of the organizations that is shaping the future of AI data and robotics, then we do want you to be heard, and we want you to be part of the ecosystem. So please drop the Secretariat an email, and we'll help you work out how exactly to participate best.
Okay, so then there may be a question that you are very well positioned to answer. It's about UK companies. So we know UK companies can become member of ADRA, but does it make sense, do you believe?
Well, it's similar to the role of the Swiss companies, and you'll note that our president is actually from a Swedish company, but she's Swiss herself, based in Switzerland. We think that Europe is somewhat wider than the political boundary, shall we say. The UK is currently working out, going through convolutions, working out exactly what its relationship with Europe is. But from my point of view, I work for a global company. We trade everywhere. Our best trading partners are in Europe. Why would I not be part of an organization like this that is driving the technological challenges and is making the difference that I want to see happen in the world? I know that sometimes we have to deal with the slight complexities around political boundaries, but we are better placed if we are inside those organizations working to build a wider community and strengthen things. I know that the UK's precise status in Horizon Europe it seems to change on a week-by-week basis, depending on the whims of the bureaucrats on my side, and of course on the Commission following its regulations and processes. But all we can hope is to show that we are stronger taking part in Horizon Europe, and therefore we can help the policymakers to set the agenda the way we would like it. So that's a long way round of saying I think it's worth being in here, if only so that we have better opportunities in the future by being in here.
Okay, thanks a lot. So then we have a question from Camille Chantel, who is wondering about the resources of, suppose we become a member of ADRA, what time investment to be active in ADRA should we be looking at?
Like any trade association, the more you put in, the more you get out. If you want to stand for the board of directors and serve on the board, then we have currently been a very active board in the startup phase, where we look forward to seeing how that will evolve in the future. But I think the most committed board members are probably doing a couple of hours a week on this. If you're a member participating in policy groups and topic groups and standards groups, then you might join 2 or 3 calls a week. If you're participating in lots of things, it might be an hour or 2 a month. Very much up to you how much you put into this, and then the more you put in, of course, the more you take out. If you take a leadership role, setting up a working group or something, then that will be a bigger commitment.
Okay, thanks a lot. So then maybe we go to our last question from Manuel Romero. So he's asking about humanoid robots technology, and he says, okay, this is going at the moment from the R&D phase into the market. Tesla, Xiaomi, as I mentioned as examples. So is this a relevant topic for ADRA?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we hosted a workshop recently on precisely on humanoid robotics technologies and how they will evolve and unfold. We see that as something that comes from the robotics background, but for a humanoid robot to be useful in the world, it's going to be analyzing huge amounts of data in the world and bringing AI to bear on that data to understand what's happening. So absolutely a critical topic for us is how do we build the robots that will participate in our economy in the future? What forms, what shapes, what morphologies will those take? So if you think if that's an area that's close to your heart, then please do come and participate in our working groups and help us get the right research agenda around it and get the right policies around it.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Rich, for joining us today. As there are a number of questions still open. So if you have some time to spare, I invite you to see if you can answer them on the chat. Otherwise, I mean, we do take all of them in a separate document, and we collect them, and we'll try to provide an answer at a later stage. So again, Rich, many thanks for your intervention.
Thanks.
And so then I'd like to move on to the Commission colleagues and the topics of the work program in AI data robotics in 2023. So I believe the first up is Kimo. Kimo, if you can join the stage. Sorry.
Switching on my devices and starting to share my screen. Just a second.
Starting to come there. Okay.
Okay, and now I just switch to presentation mode, and then we should be set.
Yes. So for me, it's okay. Yes, it seems to be coming up now.
Okay.
So there's one bar at the top that is hiding part. So maybe that's a window. Need to remove.
Is it hiding any text on the screen?
No. So it's
okay,
just
then
the
I'll
top
leave it there because otherwise I'll lose too much time.
Okay.
So very good morning, everybody. Thank you for the honor of being the first speaker of the Commission. So I'm going to present the first topic today, which is carries this code Horizon CL4, which stands for Cluster 4 2023 Data 0102. So Cluster 4 is one of the work programs which is in Horizon Europe. We have many of them, and this is for the digital industry and space. That's Cluster 4. And the name of the topic is Integration of Data Lifecycle Architectures and Standards for Complex Data Cycles and Human Factors, including language. And this is part of the AI Data Robotics Partnership. So part of the ADRA topics, this is why we are presenting it today to you. This is the common feature of all the topics that are presented to you today. A few words of background. Why do we have this topic? Why do we have this research and innovation action on these areas? Data spaces have become a reality now. We have announced them in February 2020 in the European Data Strategy. Now we are in full speed already implementing them, not in Horizon Europe program, but in the Digital Europe program. We are building them, we are deploying the first ones of them, and there we are preparing the next wave, the next generation. So what are these data spaces? They are the arrangements, architectures, and infrastructures to better be able to share data which is typically difficult to share, like which has constraints on privacy or ownership rights attached to it. And in important areas, in key areas of economy and society. For example, healthcare. You may have heard this week, there was an announcement by the commissioner, by the president of the commission, that we have launched the Cancer Images Initiative. And in fact, we are supporting it by Cancer Images data space in the Digital Europe program. So it's an example of a data space that provides huge amounts of very valuable data, but which also has privacy concerns. It's biometric data of patients, so we need to have a safe way and GDPR compliant way of sharing this data so that doctors all over Europe could benefit from it to make better diagnosis, to keep patients alive, and not only to share data among doctors, but to provide a pool of imaging data or diagnostic data that would allow to train AI systems to diagnose automatically cancer images, so to free the doctors for more productive work and working directly with patients. So this topic fully supports the deployment of the data spaces, as you will see later on. We have a total budget of 45 million euro for this topic, and the indicative size per project is 9 million, which means that we will have approximately 5 projects that will result from this call. If they are all disciplined and they are all close to the 9 million. Technology readiness level, they go from 1 to 9, and we are targeting here the mid-range with this research and innovation action, so 4 to 5. And 5 means that it is a system that is validated in a realistic or in a relevant environment. In a relevant environment, so just getting out of the lab to something that where it can be deployed and tested in realistic conditions. Then you can see all these conditions also in the work program. I jump to the expected impact. You will find it in the introduction section, so not in the topic text for the topic data 0102 itself, but a bit further up in the work program under the introduction to destination 3, which is the chapter in the work program where this topic belongs. So that the expected impacts are all the same for all the topics under this chapter, so under this destination, and they are improved European leadership in the global data economy. So very much in line what Rich was explaining to you, how to make the European economy and society autonomous and competitive. Maximize social and economic benefits for the wider and more effective use more effective use of data. Reinforced Europe's ability to manage urgent societal challenges. For example, crisis management, digital for clean technology. And now we change font. Now text looks different because this is now text taken from the description of this topic as it appears in the work program. So faithfully reproducing here what are the expected outcomes of this. First of all, not a surprise that an expected outcome is the ability to process vast volumes of data as a key enabler of technological developments and competitiveness, but also, as I mentioned, to be able to deploy the emerging common European data spaces in different sectors, in different areas, and to improve data access in general, in line with the FAIR, the findable, accessible, interoperable, reusable principles. And then I go to the requirements that are listed in the scope section of the work program. It's very important that you read the entire text in the work program, because here this is only a selection of such requirements. So what you will have to build into your proposal if you want to address this topic. First of all, contrary to some of our earlier topics in Horizon Europe and Horizon 2020, now you are asked to address the entire life cycle from data generation to the deletion of data, to the whole from birth to death. And also building on existing standards, models, and architectures, and do not reinvent them if there is already something that is useful and usable. And the target is to support portability of data and interoperability of all systems that are handling data, including artificial intelligence training. And since we are dealing with sensitive data or proprietary data, always enable the enforcement of data-related rights, obligations, and responsibilities all the way along across the life cycle of the data. Address relevant human factors and human language issues. Seek collaboration with existing, with other European national regional initiatives. So do not work alone in isolation. Develop use cases or pilots addressing or involving at least 3 different common European data spaces. This is very important requirement. So it's actually your project should be liaising with at least 3 European data spaces as they are defined in the Digital Europe program. So in order to prove your concept. And you should liaise with a CSA project, which is called Data Spaces Support Center, funded under the Digital Europe program. This is the end of my presentation. This is the first link to the work program that I was talking about. And then the second link is to the direct link to this topic that will also allow you to start submitting proposal. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks much, Kimmo. So if you have questions to Kimmo or this topic, please put them in the question and answering part, and we'll get to them at the end of the commission presentations. Okay, so then the next up, I'd like to invite Maria Zaccali to the stage to present to us the next topics. Hello, Maria.
Okay, hello. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. This is Maria Zaccali. I'm a program officer in DG Connect Unit E2, Cloud and Software. So today I'm going to present to you a research and innovation action called Cognitive Computing Continuum. Next slide, please. So our topic is in line with the digital decade objectives for cloud and edge computing continuum by the year 2030, where more than 10,000 edge nodes have to be established in Europe by 2030, and also 75% of cloud uptake in EU enterprises by the same year. So as you can see, there is a very complex environment that needs to provide storage, compute, and networking resources across an infrastructure that comprises of centralized public or private clouds, distributed edge, fog, hybrid, and multi-clouds. So this is to be able to support all the data spaces requirements. So as you can imagine, this is very complex and lots of challenges in research in those areas. So next slide, please. Thank you. So there is a need, therefore, to have a cloud to edge to IoT orchestration in the computing continuum. And therefore, we need to have research and innovation of the next generation cloud to edge to IoT technologies enabled by AI technologies. So here, what we want to do is to use state-of-the-art AI technologies to make the continuum intelligent, to make the decisions that are really appropriate, where to really migrate the compute and storage loads from cloud to edge and vice versa. And for this, there is a big need to provide a seamless, transparent, and trustworthy integration of the diverse computing and data environments spanning from the core cloud to the edge to IoT, and for sure to provide intelligence, automation, and interoperability, and to easily adapt and automatically adapt to the requirements of the AI applications and also all the data spaces. So next slide, please. So to be able to do this, we have a cloud to edge to IoT strategic initiative, and this is depicted in the Horizon Europe work program. As you can see, in last year, we had topics that were adding intelligence to the different components of the computing continuum. For example, at the edge, we had a topic on decentralized intelligence at the edge. We had also future platforms for the edge on MetaOS, and also cognitive cloud by adding AI in the cloud, making it intelligent. And all these topics have produced projects that are really running now. They started this year, most of them. And also there is another topic that ran parallel, which is the open source for cloud-based services. So all these projects now are going to contribute to the next stage of this research, where we're having the current topic that I'm going to present to you, which is called Cognitive Computing Continuum. And in this topic, what we want to do is to provide intelligence across the continuum, not only on edge, IoT, or cloud, but it has to deal with all the components of the continuum. And of course, this topic, the key input for writing the work program, we took it from the Industrial Cloud Edge Technology Roadmap, and also from the ADRA Strategic Research and Innovation Agenda. So we're in line with the ADRA SRIDA that calls for a very robust infrastructure for being able to run all these different AI applications, having in mind all the requirements that come up from all these data spaces. So next slide, please. Okay, so let's, I'm jumping into this topic. So it's called Cognitive Computing Continuum, Intelligence and Automation for More Efficient Data Processing. So it's a real topic with 28 million. So we expect to have a project in the range of 4 to 6 million and a TRL from 2 to 5. So it's a really research action. So the scope of these topics is, as I said before, what we want to do is to have an AI-enabled management of the whole computing continuum. And this is going to allow services and data to be seamlessly processed across various providers, connectivity types, and network zones. So what we want to do, what we want proposers to submit proposals to show us how you can have novel automated management tools, programming models, learning and decision-making methods and approaches, and also to cope with end-to-end security, identity management, and all the different resources, taking into account all the different resources, heterogeneity, extreme scale and fault tolerance, together with having elasticity and flexibility to allocate the resources and tasks in this complex environment. Another point is to have intelligent compute, data and code orchestration mechanisms to allow efficient value extraction from huge volumes of generated data, while at the same time supporting resource dynamicity and scalability across the computing continuum. And of course, optimization of energy efficiency throughout the continuum. So this is the scope in general that we ask proposers to submit proposals on. So let's go to the next one. Next slide, please. So the expected outcome, what we expect from this, from the proposals in this topic, is of course to provide technologies so that we can have adaptive hybrid computing, cognitive clouds, edge intelligence throughout the continuum, and to have solutions that are really going to impact and to have an impact and provide Europe with strategic autonomy in the evolving data and AI economies across the computing continuum. So I'm not going to go through all the points. You can really have, you can read them in the work program. So I'll go to the next slide, please. Okay. So other important aspects for this topic that proposers have to take into consideration is if you in the proposal you're using security and identity management technologies, you really have to see what is going on now, what are the current state of the art, and to build synergies with the ongoing research in these areas. And we have already explicitly mentioned the topics that we expect the proposers to really have a look and see what they, develop synergies with those topics. Also, the proposers are expected to develop synergies with and other related activities in the digital program, Europe program, and also in the activities of the important projects of common European interest, the IPCI initiative on cloud infrastructure and services. Of course, throughout your work, interoperability is very important. So your solutions have to be based on open standards and interoperability models and open platforms, wherever this is appropriate. Another aspect of this topic is international collaboration. Here we say that international collaboration is encouraged, is not mandatory, but having this topic is so important, and there are lots of initiatives throughout the world, especially with Japan and South Korea, because we already have very successful collaboration with those countries, and have already jointly developed some technologies that have already led to international standards. So just a note here that there is no funding from the EU for international entities. So if someone wants to participate from those countries or other countries, they really have to guarantee their own funding. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. So then what we want here, what this topic is all about, as you already have seen, is that we want to have generic and advanced cloud to edge technologies, okay, that are going to be supported by AI technologies. So here what we want is research on cloud and edge technologies and not on AI technologies. So I have to make this clear. So here AI technologies are only to support and to enable the cloud and edge to become intelligent, okay? So if you're really going to submit a proposal in this topic, please make sure that you have partners that are really in the community of cloud and edge research. Otherwise, this proposal will not go through, because as I said before, this is not to develop new advanced AI technologies, but rather to support the development of cloud and edge technologies using current state-of-the-art AI. Okay, so it has to be beyond the state-of-the-art, and to demonstrate the applicability of the new developed technologies in a number of application domains. So then, again, what we do not want is to use cloud to cloud-enable technologies like AI, big data, 5G, IoT, etc. And of course, we don't want to see any application development just using current cloud technologies. So I hope this is clear. And if we go to the next slide. Okay, so here is this slide. You can find all the information for our projects, that are our current running projects, especially in this portal, the Cloud Edge IoT portal. You can find all the information that you would like to see. And of course, I have here given you some other links that are going to really help you to see what is the current state of the art and what is the current research in these areas. Okay, so I think that's my last slide. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Maria. So again, questions to Maria, please put them in the question and answer part of the application. And we'll answer them at the end. So then I'd like to move on to Antonio Puente Rodero. Hello, Antonio.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Do you
morning.
hear me well?
Yes, we hear you well.
Perfect, thank you. I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
One moment. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's coming up. There's a bar on top of the screen, so maybe you can move it a little bit. Okay, yes. I think it's all visible now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So let's start. I'm going to present two topics. Both belong to the heading Digital Emerging. These are the topics 01 and 02. The first one is for Research and Innovation Actions, and the heading is Novel Paradigms and Approaches Towards AI-Driven Autonomous Robots. I have highlighted in red the most important concepts of this topic. I'm not going to give you a detailed explanation of the content of the topics. For that, I will recommend you to read in detail the call test, because this is the text that is really the authoritative source of the specification of these topics. What I'm going to do is to give you some hints that can help you to create good proposals. So I'm focusing more on what we are looking for, what we are not looking for, etc. So what we are looking for? We are looking for proposals that achieve substantial next step autonomy in robots and then undertaking not repetitive tasks in realistic settings, including human-robot interactions, as well as robots acting in isolation, demonstrated in key high-impact sectors where robotics has the potential to deliver significant economic and/or societal benefits. Also, deliver a step change in autonomy essential for the diffusion of robots in various industries, sectors, and services. And finally, accelerate enabling conditions essential for the diffusion of robots in various industries, sectors, and services. The expected technology readiness levels for these proposals is starting at levels 2 or 3 at the beginning of the project and achieve a level of 4 or 5 at the end of the project. The indicative project size is 8 million euros for each proposal, and the indicative budget for the whole topic is 30 million euro, which means that there is a budget for more or less 3 to 4 grants. What do we don't want? What we don't want is proposals with limited ambition on robot autonomy, delivering only incremental progress over the scientific state of the art. So the novelty must be clear and must be demonstrated in the proposal by a means of a good analysis of the state of the art and what is the proposed novelties. Also, we don't want non-realistic settings, that is, invented problems. Any problem disconnected from actual needs of key industries, of sectors and services are discouraged. In this sense, we think that the end user involvement is key in order to provide realistic settings. And finally, we don't want focus on low impact sectors with little potential to deliver economic or social benefits. I would like to highlight also that it's important to respect the administrative and formal requirements of the template, because it's a pity that very often in evaluation we found proposals that they do not respect the template in terms of page limits on font sizes. Actually, this is breaching the conditions of if the proposal uses reduced font sizes, means that they are trying to put more text than is allowed, or moving information to annexes for very typically the references or the description of use cases, etc.
But you go there and you really have what?
Sorry, I heard a noise. So please respect the formal requirements of the templates, because this can produce penalizations during the evaluation. The type of stakeholders that are addressed by these topics is first academia and research organizations, secondly robot system manufacturers and integrators, and end users providing use cases that inspire the research targeted by the proposals. Also, you should pay attention to the requirements on multidisciplinarity and social science and humanities, particularly if there is human-robot interaction. In that case, it's important to include some comments or some elaboration about these aspects. In order to focus this topic is the evolution of previous topics in the previous work programs, work programs of 2021 and 2022. The content of this topic is new, but it has close relationship with some previous topics. I listed them there so you can see them. And also these topics awarded a number of grants that are already ongoing. And I listed these grants in this slide so that you can consult these projects to get some inspiration for creating your proposals. Obviously, the subjects could be different because the topics were different, but regarding the structure and how these projects have been built and the composition could be very inspirational for creating new proposals. You have a full list of the grants awarded on the first call in 2021. The ones of 2022 cannot be published because we are evaluating right now, so they are not still set up. So the current project portfolio is the one that is shown in that screen. Now I'm going to explain the second topic. The second topic is calling for innovation actions, and its title is Industrial Leadership in AI, Data, and Robotics, Advanced Human-Robot Interaction. The focus is in advanced human-robot interaction, as I have highlighted in red. We are looking for proposals must target one of these two scopes. The first one is development of innovative solutions to address major applications-driven challenges. And proposals focus this scope. They should include at least a minimum of 50% of the budget should be devoted to financial support to third parties. And the second scope is large-scale pilots, bringing major industries from key application sectors in Europe. In this case, the financial support to third parties is optional. It can be included or not, as you wish. But it's important that the proposal must target only one of these scopes, and the scope that is targeted by each proposal must be identified in the proposal. The second requirement that we are looking for is to reach the point where human-robot interaction adds value and improves the quality of outcome for complex tasks. The third one is to address challenges in key industries and develop solutions that address human-robot interaction at all levels, from physical interaction to social interaction in a variety of working environments. Next is to boost the innovation potential for a wide uptake of AI, data, and robotics. And finally, proposals should include a clear business case and exploitation strategy in line with the fact that these are innovation actions. The technology readiness levels, the proposal should start at levels 3 to 5 and achieve level 6 to 7 at the end of the project. The indicative project size is about 10 million euros, each proposals, and the indicative budget is 30 million euros, which means that we have a budget for 3 grants, approximately. What do we don't want? We don't want academic exercises with limited potential for commercial exploitation of the results after the end of the project. We don't want either non-realistic settings disconnected from actual needs of key industries, sectors, and services. And we don't want focus on low impact sectors with little potential to deliver economic or social benefits. I remind you again the respect of the administrative and formal requirements of the templates to submit the proposals to avoid being penalized for that reason. The type of stakeholders that are addressed are primarily robot system manufacturers and integrators, technology transfer organizations, for instance, digital innovation hubs, or competence centers, etc. Academic and research organizations providing technology that is going to be transferred to the industrial partners. And finally, end users providing interesting use cases inspiring the proposals. Also, you should pay attention to the requirements on multidisciplinarity and social science and humanities in human interaction. And I would add also attention to the gender dimension in the development activities, particularly taking into account the human-robot interaction can be different from male and female humans. Regarding topic evolution, I show you here the main topics in previous calls of the Horizon Europe that call for innovation actions on similar subjects. The main focus of this topic is new, so this is an original topic that is not repeated, but it has close relationship with the topics that are listed here. Also, this topic is complementary of the topic on research and innovation actions that I have presented before. And regarding the current project portfolio, I have here all the proposals that came out from the topics on innovation actions on the calls of 2021, which are projects that are already ongoing and could be inspirational for the new proposals. So this is the full list of our project portfolio on Horizon Europe. And that's it. That's concluded my presentation. I thank you very much, and I'm open to answer any question that you may have.
Thanks a lot, Antonio. So again, please put your questions in the chat, and we'll have a question and answering session at the end. Please do make sure to indicate Antonio if the question is addressed to Antonio or the topic that you're interested. So this makes it easier for us to track the question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so next I'd like to re-invite Kimo and invite Evangelia to join the stage for the next topic on human 0101. Sorry.
Thank you, Joost. Yeah, I think it's complicated the way we kind of call them, but I think that's the way the system works. So I thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. And together with my colleague Kimo, we are going to present this topic because it's a joint topic. Because as the majority of you know how the cluster 4 works, it has several destinations, 6, and this is in a way a joint topic between destination 4, focusing on data, and destination 6, focusing on leadership in AI and trust in AI. So next slide, please. Yes, the topic is called efficient, trustworthy AI and making the best of data. Next slide. So as you can see, the EU contribution per project for this topic is between 7 and 9 million euro. The total budget is 35 million, and we hope to achieve that projects achieved by the end of their lifetime TRL of up to 5. The eligibility conditions are described in the General Annex B, and there are the following exceptions that apply. So if projects are to use satellite-based Earth observation, positioning, navigation, and/or related timing data and services, these beneficiaries must make use of the Copernicus and/or Galileo or EGNOS data and make this explicit also in the proposal. And of course, this is something that you have to notice because we'll explain in the later slides. To ensure a balanced project portfolio, the grants will be awarded to applications, not only in order of the ranking, so of the total score, but we will also make sure that at least we will fund the highest ranked for each of the 2 focus areas that we are going to present in a moment. So this is something where we will also explain that proposals have to clearly identify the main focus area. Next slide. So what are we looking for? So we are looking for expected outcomes to optimize the AI solutions, optimizing model design and data usage to maximize the accuracy and robustness of the systems, to ensure in general the pipeline of high quality, representative and unbiased and compliant training data available for AI development in all the relevant sectors, and to support the data preparation and AI training processes that lead to efficient and more trustworthy AI. Next slide. So maybe, Kimmo, you want to present this slide? Otherwise, I can go on as you want. Because as I said, it's a joint topic. One of the focus areas is more data-oriented. The other focus area is more AI-oriented.
Yes, thank you, Evangelia. This topic is unlike the one that I presented, where it is just there are no subtopics, but in this Human 0101, there you can focus on two alternative areas, or if you think you address both, at least you should mention which is the main focus area. And the idea behind this is that you can either take the AI methodologic approach to this topic, or you can take also the data processing, data pipeline approach to this problem, keeping in mind that they both affect each other and are dependent on each other. So previously we have been addressing in data technologies, cleaning and annotation of data and ensuring data compliance and quality, so on, in isolation of AI development. But here we combine them in this topic. But knowing that there are communities that are more familiar with one of the two aspects of the data pipeline access aspect or the AI model aspect, we offer this opportunity to have a focus for your proposal. But since the choice of the focus has important implications, like Evangelia mentioned, that if there are that we should, at least in the selection of projects, have a representative of both these areas, then it matters also for selection of proposal. Therefore, we ask you to kindly indicate clearly which of the areas of these two focus areas, so to spell it out clearly in the proposal so that the evaluators know. Maybe we move on here. We have limited time, so if you can continue, Evangelia.
Yes, so what we want after all of this, and this is additional information, because these are the things that we will also, the experts will focus during the evaluation. Really, the proposals have to show that they contribute to increasing the data efficiency and the energy efficiency of AI, and rationalize the provision of data of AI. Also, the work, the proposed work should support appropriate AI paradigms. There are just examples given here that respond and adapt easily to the needs of the use situation and to the changing characteristics, availability, and use conditions of data, and that the target AI system should be appropriately evaluated and results analyzed and fed back to ensure a continuous improvement of the data for AI pipeline. Next slide. Also, the proposal, as I said, is very important. It should describe the characteristics and availability of the data to be used within the project and explain how the possible privacy and IPR issues related to the data are addressed. So experts will pay particular attention to this in the proposals. And also, is particular to this topic, Maria had a similar one in her presentation. We allow also for international cooperation. Actually, international cooperation is encouraged, in particular with Canada and India, because there are also existing ongoing work and task forces to discuss around trustworthy AI, but also on energy efficiency of the system. So these countries are encouraged. That does not mean that proposals who will not have partners from either of those two countries or international partners will be penalized. No, it just means that proposals can also bring on board expertise from those countries. Next slide. So what we do not want, I mean, I could come up with a long list, but in the end of the day, really, we want to see a high ambition, really progressing and really achieving systems that are more energy efficient. So we don't want to see proposals that have a limited ambition and deliver only incremental progress over the scientific state of the art. I can tell you experts really focus a lot on the description of the state of the art and especially how the proposal intends to achieve and go really progress beyond the state of the art. And really important, because we just got out of an evaluation, please respect the font size that has been given. And if you're going to use graphics or anything else, make sure that it's readable, even if somebody prints out the document, because experts were advised to not take something into account which is difficult to read. So if you're using graphics or anything, gunshots, whatever, which are on a single printed A4 paper, difficult to read, they will not be taken into account. Next slide. And I think with this, I'm going to the next topic. This one is an innovation action, and it's the first innovation action under Horizon Europe under this destination. So what are we looking for? Large-scale pilots on trustworthy AI data and robotics that address key societal challenges. Next slide. So the indicated budget per proposal is around 8 million. The total budget is 24. So we will fund 3 projects here. And as an innovation action, the TRL expected to be achieved is around 6 to 7. The conditions are in General B, Annex B. What I put here on the first slide is really it's important that all proposals should demonstrate the assessment criteria upon which the proposed sectors use cases have been selected. We have not mentioned on purpose any kind of examples of sectors to be addressed, but the proposal has to demonstrate why they have selected the sector and the use cases. And also important for this particular one, because it's really about the uptake of AI and trustworthiness of those systems, the involvement of end users in the requirement and validation of the pilots is important to ensure the human-centric approach and maximize that acceptance. Experts in the evaluation will really pay attention to this part. So proposals need to really address this aspect and not just generally, but in detail, in depth. Next slide. Sorry. I lost you for a moment. So what are we looking for? So strengthening, of course, the use ecosystem of AI data and robotics, excellence and innovation in world-class foundational, but also in application-inspired and application-oriented research, technology progress. We want to see in AI addressing the major challenges that hamper until now the deployment of those technologies, and we also want to see a wider uptake of those technologies by industry and end users in order also to reach the targets that we have set, that the Commission has set with the digital decade. Next slide. So what we do not want to see, since it's an innovation action, it really has to be also industry driven. So we don't want to see an academic focus with a limited potential for commercial application of the results after the end of the project, which also means we want to see a very strong exploitation plan and any kind of plans for commercialization of products or services at the end of the project. We don't want to see, so a lack or limited end user involvement will be penalized. So this is very important here. What we do not want to see is a lack of critical mass of industry and therefore non-realistic settings that are disconnected from the actual needs of key industries, sectors and services. This is why also the topic is called large scale. So we really want to see a critical mass of industry players in the selected sector. And we don't want to see a focus on low impact sectors with little potential to deliver economic or social benefits. This is also linked to what I said in the beginning. So the proposal has to make the case why they've selected the particular sector. Again, deviations from the formal requirements, please respect them. I think we move to the, yes. What are, of course, for this innovation actions, it's like all the topics that we present today, it's AI data and robotics partnership proposal. So it's driven by the PPP, and they are the key group of actors that are drive this. And the typical stakeholders for this, well, it's a mixture between academy and RTOs, research organizations, but also bringing a critical mass of industry in the targeted sectors and applications that should also include SMEs and startups. Next slide. And this is the last proposal that normally Pavel should present before, because we usually present the Infodays in an order, but it's linked also to the next topic that will be presented. It's a first. It's called Open Innovation, Addressing Current Challenges in AI. It is, though, a coordination support action, but it will focus on research, and I will explain to you in the next slides why. So it has a total budget of 4 million. Which means we will only fund one project, one CSA that will hopefully use all the 4 million, or at least propose to use the 4 million. The TRL to be achieved is up to 5. And this is particular for this CSA. There is an FSDP, and there should be a minimum of 50% of the total budget allocated for FSDP. And the support to the third parties will not be in form of a grant, but it will be in form of the prizes. So the maximum amount to be granted to each third party will be 500,000 euros. So it can vary in depending on the proposal and how the proposal wants to address the objectives. But the maximum that can be given will be 500,000 euros to address the open innovation challenges that on key important scientific and technological challenges that you will see also later on in the slides what we are looking for. Next slide. So what we want to demonstrate and reinforce Europe's research excellence in AI by driving the substantial scientific progress in major scientific and technological areas. So the following is mentioned there, because I will show in the next slide which ones we mean. We want to develop a prestigious AI open innovation challenges that will mobilize wide participation of top scientists from academia, industry, including startups, but also young teams and rising stars from all over the Europe and European member states and associated countries. And we want to substantially increase interest from industry in AI, so including also from SMEs and startups in AI, in particular from key socioeconomic sectors for Europe, and contributing therefore to the uptake of research results by industry. Next slide. So the aim of the Open Innovation Challenges is to attract outstanding talent and the best research teams in Europe and associated countries to tackle key scientific and technological AI challenges that are of relevance to industry. So we want something we don't want something that is disconnected from actual industrial or societal challenges. We want to drive substantial and broad scientific progress in key AI areas with the aim to reinforce the research excellence in Europe, to enable a stronger collaboration between industry and academia, and really enable a co-creation between those two actors, attract industry and business interest in demonstrating advanced performances that meet the needs of the industry, of the user industry, in view of fostering also the deployment and business opportunities in Europe, and to define a process that fosters really the uptake of developed algorithms and solutions across Europe through the mechanism of the Open Innovation Challenges. Next slide. So the coordination support action is expected to prepare at least, so we hope that they will be able to organize more, but at least 3 open innovation challenges that address the challenges in collaboration with the projects that are funded under the following topics. So I presented you the first one. It's the one that we presented with Kimo on the energy efficiency. So there, the CSA has to organize with the consortia that will be selected under that topic, together this Open Innovation Challenge, and then with the natural language understanding and interaction that will be presented after me with that topic. So those are the 2 topics that are called for in 23, and the other 2 topics will be called in 24. So on a focus on explainability and robustness of AI and the collaborative intelligence. So the CSA is supposed to at least organize 3 Open Innovation Challenges in those areas, and the projects funded through those calls should participate also in the respect. So the projects funded in those 4 topics are expected also to participate and allocate resources and tasks to participate in the innovation challenges and collaborate with the CSA. Those research teams, though, that are already funded by Horizon Europe, so by one of the 4 topics, cannot, of course, receive any prizes, monetary rewards. They can, of course, receive different types of rewards, but they cannot receive funding also through this CSA, because then it would constitute a double funding. So they will not be eligible to prize money, but if there is things like publication in a research journal or everything else, they are allowed and subject to that as well. Next slide. So what is important here? That the proposals provide in the proposal a sound methodology for the design of those AI challenges as open innovation challenges and or benchmarks. It depends on the proposal. Provide a convincing approach how they will attract the best teams from academia and industry, but also startups and SMEs, but also students, rising stars and newcomers. So really it's very important in the methodology, not only how they will run the innovation challenges, but also how they make sure that they get the best researchers around to attend to apply actually for those challenges. Then it's important also to address all aspects of running an open innovation challenge, whether it's in several kind of turns, iterative or whatever. So it all depends on the methodology, but those aspects need to be addressed, and how the proposals should also make sure how they best exploit those aspects to maximize the visibility of AI also to a wider audience, not just to attract the teams, but also make sure that everybody around Europe is also aware of those challenges. And what is also important, that they collaborate, that there are plans in the proposal to collaborate with the on-demand platform, the AI Data and Robotics Partnership, but also the networks of AI excellence centers. There are already several that are funded, and a few more will be funded from from the current call in 22. So collaboration with the existing networks of excellence centers, and of course with the projects that I mentioned earlier, with whom the CSA should actually collaborate and co-organize those challenges. And of course, any other relevant initiatives, that's up to the proposal. Next slide. So what we do not want to see is really proposals that have a limited ambition and have very limited plans really to ensure that we will achieve the progress that is expected. Proposals or consortia that lack the expertise to organize, plan and attract and engage outstanding talent, and limited visibility. So if there are no plans how they actually want to raise visibility of the innovation challenges, that under criterion 2, so under the impact criterion, will then be also penalized. So it's very important, as you can see in all 3 criteria, to have the relevant elements there. And I think, again, please respect the administrative and formal requirements for submitting a proposal. I think that would be it. The type of stakeholders, yes, again, so academy, research organizations and organizations that have experience with carrying out innovation challenges, and industry is important, SMEs and startups as well. As I said, the maximum will be 500,000 euros, but proposals can also look into industry, and I think that's mentioned in the topic description, to receive also investment also from industry to even increase the prices. It is up to each proposal how they want to address the topic, but there are a lot of possibilities, and I think the topic description has all the details that we will look at. And the key group, again, of actors driving this is the partnership. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Evangelia. So please post your questions in the question and answering box, and we'll get to them in a minute. So I'd like to invite Pavel, the last speaker from the Commission, to talk to us about Human 0103.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen perfectly fine. So please go ahead.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. My name is Paweł Dobosz, and I'm the program manager in a unit dealing with multilingualism and language technologies in the European Commission, Directorate General for Communications, Networks, Content and Technology. I will present you today the Horizon call for proposals in the area of natural language understanding and interaction in advanced language technologies under AI Data and Robotics Partnership. So as artificial intelligence becomes increasingly more performant, There is growing potential for humans directly use and benefit from smarter systems that rely on grasping real meaning from natural languages, recognizing gestures and activities, understanding intention, creating and maintaining shared mental models, and designing multi-step interactions. Therefore, the main challenge to be addressed under this topic is effective AI-based human-machine interaction and collaboration. The total indicative budget for this topic is 20 million euros, and we estimate that an EU contribution of between 6 and 8 million euros would allow the topic outcomes to be addressed appropriately. Nonetheless, this does not preclude submission and selection of proposal requesting different amounts. The proposals should be research and innovation actions, and activities to be carried out are expected to start at Tier 2 and achieve Tier 5 by the end of the project. So what are we looking for? Projects under this topic are expected to contribute to the following outcomes. First, development of natural language understanding and interaction in advanced language technologies based on context-aware language models, able to further integrate long-term general knowledge and derive meaning in order to develop automated reasoning and enhanced interaction skills. The outcomes should also include effective, multilingual, and bias-controlled language models capable of learning from smaller language corpora, efficient in computing, and respectful of European values. The expected outcomes include also AI systems and solutions based on novel multilingual pre-trained language models that have assimilated cross-language and cross-cultural knowledge through textual and speech input. And finally, what is very much expected is a higher uptake of innovative language technology solutions by European companies, providing extensive language coverage of AI-enabled applications and services in Europe. In terms of scope, the envisaged AI solution should address one or both of the following main areas. So first, they should improve context-aware human-machine interaction to increase understanding and exploitation of the interaction context and content in multimodal settings, thus increasing responsiveness of interactive AI solutions, such as smart assistants, conversational and dialogue systems, content generation models, etc. And second, the envisaged AI solutions should support and enhance seamless human-to-human communication across languages, for example, by means of automatic translation or interpretation, including automatic subtitling in real time, with a greater understanding of the communication context and the meaning involved in it. What's more, multidisciplinary research activities to be carried out under this topic should address at least one of the following scope areas. First, developing novel methods and techniques for producing context-aware models, which incorporate factual-based structured and unstructured knowledge in broader situational and temporal information, and continual learning to achieve natural behavior and reasoning in all intended settings. Second, research activities should address also improving large pre-trained multilingual language models to cover a large set of languages with a high level of natural language understanding and the ability to efficiently add more languages, including low-resource ones, by transfer or language-independent learning methods. In third scope area, we are looking for projects improving language-independent and bias-controlling algorithms and methods for language model training and usage efficiency in terms of data, time, and energy consumption, while retaining performance, accuracy, and general usability. And finally, under fourth scope area, the proposals should develop language representations encompassing an effective combination of multilingual, symbolic, and sub-symbolic knowledge, and allowing systems to perform cross-cultural reasoning in various contextual tasks. When it comes to general topic conditions, proposals should involve appropriate expertise, including data science, computer science, computational linguistics, machine learning, natural language processing, biases in language models, etc. They should also build on existing standards and contribute to standardization, as well as result in findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable research data, including metadata schemas and ontologies. Proposals should also include embedded mechanisms to assess and demonstrate progress, qualitative and quantitative KPIs, benchmarking, and progress monitoring, as well as illustrative application use cases demonstrating concrete potential added value. They should also foresee sharing communicable results with the European R&D community through the AI on-demand platform, common European data spaces, especially language data space, and by other means. Proposals are also expected to participate in the relevant innovation challenges. And what do we not want under this topic? So first, simple copying, refreshing of existing ideas, technologies, or solutions, but also proposals where language modeling technologies and their evident applications are not the main subject, as well as proposals with a vague, imprecise description of action. As for the topic evolution, this topic continues the efforts made already in the 2021 Horizon Europe Extended Reality Modeling topic. And projects currently implemented under this extended reality modeling topic include CERMAS, socially acceptable extended reality models and systems, UTR, unified transcription and translation for extended reality, and Vox Reality, voice-driven interaction in XR spaces. The key actors active in this topic area are leading research entities with expertise in artificial intelligence, especially natural language processing or data science on the one hand, and various industrial users of language modeling technologies on the other. Under the links on the slide, you can find additional background information on language technologies that can help you better understand the context of this topic. And as for future outlook, information on the potential of this topic and related trends can be found in the number of technology and market reports on artificial intelligence, including the 3 reports listed on this slide. Please remember that the deadline for submitting proposals under this call is March 29th, and more information about this topic conditions can be found at the link provided. So this is the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, I and my colleague Philippe Gélin, who is also present today, are at your disposal. And thank you for your attention. This is the end of my presentation.
Thanks a lot, Pavel, and thanks a lot to the colleagues of the Commission for keeping time so well. So we have 25 minutes ahead of us for question and answering. So I'd like to start with some general questions on so some of the topics. Actually, I believe all of the topics there have a marking AI data robotics partnership. So can you please elaborate a little bit what that means? Also, because so these projects are expected to collaborate with the partnership, but what does this mean precisely? Does it mean they need to provide their results to the AI on-demand platform, or is there more engagement needed? Is there any Commission colleague? Yes.
For which question? I thought.
So this is a more general question.
Okay.
So it's not to a particular topic, but as we have noticed, all of the topics, they have these indications, AI data robotics partnership. So what does that mean precisely? And in terms of collaboration with the partnerships, are the projects expected to just publish their results on the on-demand platform, or should they engage in another way, or should this engagement be more profound?
I think the information is in the topic descriptions, and I think in the PPP topics, I think cohesion tasks should be also allocated to collaborate with the data and robotics partnership. The on-demand platform, I think there the description is also given in topic description, but not just in the on-demand platform. I think any other kind of open kind of platforms where results can be also made available to the general kind of audience, other researchers, stakeholders, whatever. So I think the information is there. So what's more important than what we presented today on the slides is really to read the topic description and the conditions in detail and make sure that the proposals are in line with them.
Yeah, I could add to this that indeed, looking at the questions, you could actually get rid of 80% of the questions just by reading the work program text, because whatever is not stated there as a mandatory requirement is not a mandatory requirement. So for example, addressing certain application areas, if no application areas are mentioned in the topic description text, then there is no such requirement, not even a recommendation.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kimo. All right, so then there is a question to Maria concerning the data 0104 topic. So is a more direct application intended for industrial installations or factories, or is it intended to create a system that can more easily support autonomous vehicles in smart cities, for example, or even support for robots adapted to interact with humans?
Okay, I think I have already answered to this question through the chat. So as Kimo said before, we don't have any specific application domains that we would like proposers to present. So it's up to the proposal, and it's up to the developed technologies how they are going to demonstrate their applicability through a number of application domains. Okay, and just to stress that this topic is not about developing an application. Okay, this topic is about developing advanced cloud edge technologies that are AI enabled.
Okay, thanks, Maria. So yes, I have to admit I don't have visibility on the questions that are answered here. So maybe indeed they are already answered. Yeah. So my apologies for that. So there's another question on data 0104 again for Maria. So is it obligatory to have a Japanese or a Korean partner? And maybe related to that, if a Korean partner joins the proposal, do they have to show that they have their own financing, or can this be done after the proposal is accepted?
Okay, I have already answered to all these questions as well, but yes, for repeating myself, yes, it's not mandatory to have partners from Japan and Korea. The reason why we mentioned this in the work program is because with those countries we had a very successful collaboration in the past. And now, if you want to include someone from those countries or any other country, of course they have to demonstrate that they're going to have their funding. When the proposal is selected, in a way they have to have an indication that they are going to have this funding, because otherwise, you may have partners from other countries, and then at the end, when the proposal is selected, if they don't get the funding, all these organizations leave the consortium. This is not what we would like to have. So yes, please make sure that there is a strong possibility for these partners to finance their own participation.
Okay, thank you a lot. So then I'd like to move quickly to Antonio.
Yes.
Regarding the topic emerging 0101. So traffic lights, they are sometimes called robots. A proposal based on traffic lights as robotic systems, in a way, would that fulfill the topics? Outcomes and scope, would it be considered an appropriate submission for this topic?
I would say that traffic lights are not robots. Robots must be a machine that moves. So there is not a strict definition of robot, but among the characteristics that a robot has is the capacity to have some action, normally in mechanical terms. So they must have a capacity for movements. I would say traffic lights are not robots. Okay, thanks a lot. So then we have another question on the same topic, emerging 0101. The topic description states that the solution should be demonstrated in key impact sectors in plural. Does this imply that projects should target solutions that are demonstrated in multiple high impact sectors, or will projects targeting a single high impact sector be more desirable? both are okay. So if the proposal focuses on only one sector with high economic impact, it's okay. If the proposal is proposing a solution that could be applied to several sectors, it would be okay as well, of course. So both answers are appropriate for the proposals.
All right. So then moving on to 0102, expected impact, where it asks to contribute to one or more of the following impacts. A proposal that addresses several impacts, will it be evaluated higher than a proposal that focuses on just a single one, or how does this work?
02 for the impacts. One moment. One is enough. So the fact of targeting several no, sorry, you are talking about 02. Yes, the proposals are expected to contribute to all the outcomes, to all the impacts that are listed in the topic core.
Okay.
So all of them are required for each proposal. It's not one of them.
Okay, so and then more question on 102. So what is the criterion for pilots that are large? So what is the criteria to be considered a large pilot?
Well, a large pilot is a pilot that is basically realistic, so it's done not at a laboratory scale, but really an industrial scale.
Okay.
So it can be found in really the use cases.
All right. So then also a question on emerging 0102 that call for a business case and exploitation strategy. They have an extra 3 pages. Have an extra 3 pages for this in the page limit. So is this also the case for digital emerging 0102?
No. The page limit is 45 pages, and it must be included there in the 45 pages that is given for all the parts. There are not any addition or extension for this particular point. It must be included in the standard length of the proposal. Okay,
thanks a lot, Antonio. So then I'd like to move on to Kimo for data 0102.
Yes.
Can you please elaborate more on what is meant by human language issues, so in the data lifecycle, and 2, addressing the social and cultural factors?
Right. Okay. I think there's more than one question on that topic. So one I already answered, so you can have a look at my answer, but I think this deserves some explanation. And it comes from the fact, for one thing is that many of the data spaces that are designed in the Digital Europe program and that are being deployed there and collected and design architectures designed, they consist of human generated data. So not only language data, but language data and images, for example. Well, the cancer images are images of human beings. So biometric data, very, very human related, human factor related. So the fact that many of the data spaces that we are addressing, they actually are data about humans, or more specifically expressions in human language. There may be legal text, which the system should be able to interpret in some instances in administrative data space concepts. So all this requires capabilities of language understanding that we are trying to support. And what Pavel presented, the topic, the language technology topic, is exactly about that. It's all about language understanding. So for us, it is only to build this understanding into the data life cycle. So not to do merely language understanding in the project, but to integrate it in the life cycle of data handling. The other thing is that, of course, most of the AI, not all of it, of course, if it's pictures only, but a lot of the AI is actually based on, well, understanding language in one way or the other. That kind of chat GPT scenarios where you write a prompt and then you receive something, and also the AI performance relies on language processing at some level. This is, as I also mentioned in my answer, there is a dedicated language dedicated data space, which is called the language data space. So it's one of the many data spaces is the language data space, which contains text and speech data that you can use to build applications that help systems to understand human language. I hope this helped.
Thanks, Kimmo. So then one more question about the data spaces. So that's on 0102, data 0102. Is it mandatory to have partners that participate into a common data space in the consortium? And also, I mean, where can we find information about these?
First of all, it's not mandatory, because nothing which is stated in the work program as mandatory is mandatory. So, so read the work program like a lawyer, and you will find the answer. No, but of course, to be helpful, I should say more than that. To be really helpful, what the work program does require is to create the collaborations and the liaisons to the data spaces. First of all, because you must have, to support your use cases, you have to create liaisons to 3 different data spaces. That's a requirement. That's a requirement. So, but how do you do that is your business, and as it's left to your discretion as a proposer. So you might be already part of a data space, or one of your partners might be a part of a data space. That's of course one possible scenario, but you may also envisage different methods of creating these liaisons and collaborations than introducing partners to your consortium, which of course is one possible way of doing it. Okay, thanks a lot. So then I'd like to move on to Human 0101. So that's also one of the topics that you presented together with Evangelia. So shall use cases be oriented to AI functionality rather than to specific sectors? In other words, use cases targeting AI features instead of verticals. And also, how much robotics involvement should proposals have under this topic? Is it expected to a use case focused on robotics?
I think I answered the question, but in the end of the day, it's what Kimmo said again. It's the description is there. It is up to the proposal to demonstrate with the proposed use case, the proposal chosen, or the sector, that they can demonstrate the progress beyond the state of the art in one of the 2 focus areas, and that they actually achieve the expected outcomes. We tried really to strike a balance between being too descriptive and allowing for innovative approaches. So I mean, as Kimmo said, if it's there written in the topic description, they have to comply. Otherwise, it's up to the proposers to kind of be innovative and demonstrate. I mean, Kimmo, I mean, you can add to this.
Yes. So what I would say as my advice to you or suggestion, when the work program provides this freedom of choice, use the freedom. Use the freedom and pick your technologies, your scenarios, your use cases that are the best for you and your constituency, your consortium. Then this way you can make your proposal convincing and strong. Not to try to artificially address something that you might think that the evaluators might like. No, we will instruct them to read the work program text and to apply that faithfully and allow any variations that are possible. So it's a freedom for you to use.
We like freedom. Okay. Next one is still on human 0101. So the topic, it states proposals should address one of the focus areas. One of these areas mentions machine learning methods that address one-shot learning, continuous and or lifelong learning. We have set up a consortium that focuses on continual learning, and we address transfer learning, few-shot learning in relation to continual learning. Our consortium has 15 partners, all expert or high quality, interested in continual learning. Would the committee welcome projects which focus on the set of algorithm settings, namely continual learning, or is this considered too restrictive?
It's again the same answer. I mean, there is the topic description. We have described it to focus areas. So if the proposer believes that they address at least one of those two focus areas and can also demonstrate how they will reach the expected outcomes, that's fine. As we said, we really want the proposer to come up with innovative ideas. We try to provide some guidance, but I mean, if it's within the what we have put as a framework of the topic description, then they can submit that they can propose this. Yes.
Okay. So then seeing that human 0101 researchers should participate in human 0104 innovation challenges. Is concrete collaboration already needed at the proposal stage, or is for the winning 0104 proposal to reach out to the winning proposal all right at the project implementation stage?
So I think what I mentioned also in the slides, they have to have those topics have to have some tasks and resources allocated to collaborate with the CSA. Now, not all of them will be called at the same time. In this case, this topic and the 03 topic are in the same call as the 0104 topic. So it will be very easy to bring them in contact, but it's basically the CSA's responsibility. But in any case, resources have to be allocated for all those topics to collaborate with the CSA.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you. So then regarding human 0102, if I understand correctly, you indicated that the human 102 call does not explicitly mention areas domains. Yet in the work program, it says pilots should target technological advances with large-scale potential impact on strategically important sectors with large social impacts, such as healthcare, improved working and or living conditions. Can you please clarify?
So it's true what I said also in the slides, that even in healthcare, and I answered this question, you have a variety of use cases that you can propose, and working conditions, I mean, it's also pretty much all the sectors. So we try to give something there as an example, but the example is just an example. What is really important, that the assessment criteria, that the proposals demonstrate why that sector is important and why they target that sector. So that still is important. So the rest is just examples.
Okay, very good. So then a question regarding the innovation challenges. So that's human 0104. Do the grand challenges in AI also include robotics or intelligent robotics?
as we said, those challenges should primarily be in the areas of the 4 topics that I mentioned. So if their robotics is included, then yes. But I mean, it was very explicit which areas will be targeted for. So again, please read the full topic description for all the topics that we presented today.
Okay, so
because I was active used, I was answering all the questions online while you were.
Okay, well, very good. So I do see there's still 17 open questions. So in any event, I mean, we collect all the questions that won't be answered today and get back to answering them at a later stage, and you receive the answers.
Indeed, but I mean, what maybe we should also explain that the AI data and robotics partnership is in cluster 4 situated. So it's a cluster 4 European partnership. So the calls that we presented today are tagged PPP topics, because there was a question, will there be separate topics, separate proposals, calls for proposals outside of Horizon Europe? No. I think that would be the short question, unless the PPP wants to organize something different. But in this framework, the European partnership, it's a Horizon Europe partnership, and usually the topics, the call for proposals, are called for under cluster 4.
All right. Okay, thanks much, Evangelia, and all of the
Thank you
colleagues for the Commission for answering questions. So please stay along a little bit to continue answering the question as they drip in. So I'd like now to proceed to our next speaker, Edina Nemeth from the Ideal IST network. Edina, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. So let me start by a short introduction. I'm Edina Nemeth. I am a national contact point for Hungary, but today I'm here representing a network, which means that there are national contact points in just about every country in the EU, as well as associated countries, but also many countries beyond. So the purpose of this is that you can get support throughout your proposal preparation process locally from someone just like me. Next slide, please. So we offer services at 2 levels. First of all, nationally. Nationally, we offer services that really make sense nationally, like if you're getting acquainted with Horizon Europe, you're trying to position yourself, figure out which partnership to work with, so on and so forth. But there are also a bunch of services that make sense to be offered at an international level. If you think of a proposal, typically it's a consortium of many actors from many countries. So it makes sense that we support you together in collaboration with other national contact points in Europe. Next, please. So let me introduce you the type of services we offer together. Next, please. So one of the services that you probably know us most for are brokerage events. These are typically organized when the calls are first published. And the aim is that we allow you to present your profile online, present your project ideas, present your collaboration needs, and find partners from other countries to work with. We also offer various trainings, seminars, webinars. For example, we offer panel discussions with evaluators, so you can learn a bit more about how the evaluation process works. We offer a toolbox, which includes a bunch of useful tools that you can use while you're preparing your proposal. And we also include a topic tree, which I'll show you in a subsequent slide. Next slide, please. So this is our topic tree. In many of the presentations of the European Commission officers, it was mentioned that some topics have predecessor topics, previous projects that can inspire you, previous projects with whom you might want to collaborate with. So the aim of the topic tree is to help you understand how these topics are linked, how these topics have evolved over the years, and what is the new focus specifically in this year. We have a version that's available for the public, but we have also a version that explains these links in more detail. And your national contact point can help you interpret how these links work between various topics. So we encourage you to contact the person in your country and get more in-depth explanations of how different topics are linked. Next, please. So brokerage events, as I mentioned, the aim of this is to help you find partners to collaborate with. Normally, we organize these in person, but one of the benefits of the last few years is that we moved this entirely online, and we made it available on the long term. So it's not just for a single event. Next, please. We opened this interface back in December when the calls were published. There are over 1,300 people registered, and they specifically indicate which call topics they are interested in, which call topics they have expertise in, and which call topics they want to build a project in for which they are looking for collaborations. And this is open up until the call deadline. So if you haven't registered already, we encourage you to do so. And look around, see what other offers there are and whom you can work with. Next, please. As your ideas develop, we offer two types of support services. When your idea first comes out, we offer a very basic project idea check. This is typically when the call is published. In our toolbox, we have a project one-pager, which allows you to structure very briefly in a few questions what your project idea is about, and you can get feedback from the NCP on whether this fits the topic that you are targeting. As time progresses, next slide, please. As time progresses, we offer a full proposal check, and the aim of the full proposal check is to allow you to get feedback from an experienced Horizon Europe evaluator. This is organized typically around 1 month before the deadline. You submit us a draft of your proposal. We hire evaluators to look at it and run a mock evaluation in accordance with the evaluation criteria and the requirements that are explained in the work program. And you get a 2-hour consultation with these evaluators, and they give you feedback, and you still have a few weeks left before the deadline to improve your proposal and get better chances for funding. So you can already register for this one that we have, and the consultation meetings will be held between 27th of February and the 2nd of March. It's important that registration is open until 17th of February because we need some time to read through and get feedback on your proposal. Next, please. So where can you find us? We have a website, of course, as well as numerous social media channels. And you can contact us to use our services. And what's most important is that all of our services are free. So please come and contact us and let us know how we can help you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Edina. All right. So I think then we can move on to the pitching part of this session. So I'd like again to thank all our speakers this morning from the Commission, from ADRA, and from the Ideal IST network to make available their time to answer questions here and present the project ADRA and the network. So many thanks to that. So I think that concludes the first part of this morning. So we're moving on now to the pitching sessions. So we have around 30 pitches lined up for you. I mean, unfortunately, we had to disappoint some of you that were willing to pitch, but yeah, so some of the information that just presented by Edina might be useful for you to reach out to potential partners and in a different way. So all the participants to the pitching sessions, they have received an order. So I'll give the first 3 so that they can prepare. So when it's your turn, please turn on your camera Normally the slides are lined up for you, so then you have a 2-minute pitch ready for you. So when we're approaching the end of your slot, I'll turn on my camera, and this is a sign for you that it might be time to wrap up. So the first three will be Keith Hyams, Juris Klovanos, and then Eric Kalman. So
Yeah, actually, just the third one will be Jeanette Nilsson, which is replacing Eric at the last moment.
Okay, so Jeanette. Okay, so I'd like to invite Keith, if you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, welcome, Keith.
Thank you.
So we have your presentation lines up, so please.
Thank you. So I'm from the University of Warwick, where I'm a professor in the Department of Politics and International Relations, and I run the Interdisciplinary Ethics Research Group. We have expertise in social science and humanities methods, especially philosophical methods and interview gathering and workshops around issues to do with ethics. Next slide, please. So as I said, our methodologies are based around social science and humanities methods, and that's often a core part of Horizon Europe calls, and we're able to provide that aspect of a consortium. So we have expertise in a range of ethical issues, including ethics of artificial intelligence, data ethics, robot ethics, security ethics, research ethics. We've also worked in other areas, including things like climate ethics. Next slide, please. So the Department of Politics and International Studies, where we're based in the UK, in the University of Warwick, is in the top 4 in the UK for research power, and it's actually first in the UK for research environment. So we're a very strong group of researchers in a strong department. We have a very long track record, over 40 funded projects across more than 10 years, including a number of Horizon Europe projects, Horizon 2020, and as far back as FP7, as well as other funders in these areas. Next slide, please. So if you would like to have an SSH, a social science and humanities or an ethics aspect in your project, then please do get in touch, and I'd be very happy to discuss the ethical issues that arise with your proposed research and how we might come in and deal with those issues. As I said, my name's Keith Hyams. You're welcome to get in touch on my email, which is k.d.hyams@warwick80uk. I'll put that in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Keith. You're setting a standard for getting even below time, so congratulations on that. So next up is Juris. So I'm not sure it's say it correctly, but
yes, it is. Hello, okay. Everyone. Yes, do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, and your slides are here, so perfect. You're ready to go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Juris, and together with my dear friend Birger and our engineering team, we represent company BirgerMind. At BirgerMind, we build non-invasive brain-computer interfaces, enabling paralyzed patients to communicate independently. Our technology also serves as a step forward to move intuitive control and mobile devices and robot manipulators. And next slide, please. My dear friend Birger is living with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis for 27 years. And he is fully paralyzed, and our mission is to help Birger and many other ALS patients throughout Europe and worldwide to use modern apps by means of their brain signals. Therefore, we are developing both a hardware and a software platform, which is a standard standalone solution for most of the ALS communication needs. Next slide, please. No more sophisticated calibration wires and adjustments. We cannot directly read thoughts. However, we can derive useful patterns for basic communication and for control of peripherals. We apply semi-supervised dynamic Bayesian networks with deep architectures to learn from real-world patient data. We catch and use only the valuable brain signals. So our brain is a last resort. It works even if the whole body is paralyzed. And typing and navigating is possible with our brain AI engine that derives the thoughts of different movement patterns. Next slide, please. Typing and navigating the computer can be done faster with eye trackers. So our technology is classified as TRL 5 and 6, and we are continuously improving it. But comparing to BCI implants, we are actually getting closer to the accuracy and precision of BCI implants. However, BCI implants require complicating medical operations, and we don't, because our technology is non-invasive. Head and mouse joysticks can be used for patients who are already in locked-in state, so we are actually beyond the technology of normal joysticks. So if you're interested in our project, please feel free to drop an email at info@birgermind.com, and we will be happy to get in touch with you and explain more about our technologies. Thank you very much.
Thanks much, Iris. So next up is Janet Nielsen, and then we have Axel Brando and Joanne Arietta. So Janet, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks, welcome.
Thank you. RISE is the research institute in Sweden. We are about 3,000 people working in all areas, and I'm working with AI. And also Erik Kjellman, who is not, he couldn't be part of this today. We are in the north of Sweden, so we are interested now in people to join a project that we are now writing on, because we are collecting a lot of data, satellite images, because we are so close to the pole. And we are going to do a project. Please, next. So since we are collecting so much data, we have also a test bed on 5G, and we have experimentation data facility here. We see the need from a lot of different companies and a lot of new possibilities to use all of this satellite Earth data. So next, please. We want to see if we can make it more easier to use it in a more autonomous way with all the data that we actually bring from not from space, but Earth observations. So the last we want to have partners in this. We have some partners already, but we want to have also someone who is coordinating this together with us and have also some domain expertise. And these are the partners that we are thinking of. And the last slide, please. What we have in RISE and in Luleå, where we live, we have this facility where we can experiment. It's like a small supercomputer, and we are working a lot on edge and on 5G. We have experimentation facilities for that as well. So we are going to, we're looking for partners in this, and so please take contact with Erik Kjellman. I might also put in his RISE address in the chat so you can contact him.
Thanks much, Janet. And please do provide any additional information in the chat, indeed, for anyone interested to get in contact. So we move on to Axel.
Yes, do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, perfect. So good morning to everyone. Here we will present a little bit the work we are doing in the Chaos Research Group at the Barcelona Supercomputing Center. So next slide, please. Thank you. So the Barcelona Supercomputing Center is a huge research center, but we are particularly explaining what are doing the Chaos Group. And in particular, we will talk about which are our goal inside the artificial intelligence. So our group has been working long ago in critical embedded systems. And particularly, he has been involved in different European projects, leading different European projects and funding different spin-offs and different collaboratives with different companies. The Chaos Group is a group that is expert in in safety and in creating critical safety systems. And particular in terms of the artificial intelligence, our goal here is to try to find a way to how we can introduce artificial intelligence in these critical systems. So our goal here is to modeling the great reliable models, artificial intelligence models. And in order to do this, we need to look the different functional safety certifications that exist and being aligned with this. In order to do this, can we go to the next slide, please? So in order to do this, we are leading one European project that is SafeExplain. SafeExplain is a European project that tries to bring together functional safety people with artificial intelligence one, and they try to arrive to a consensus on how we can create these artificial intelligence systems in order to be certifiable. So in the next slide, we can see our approach in terms of creating trustworthy AI systems. So our goal normally here is to identify the different sources of uncertainty and try to model each kind of these sources. And this approach can be applied also in different other domains, not only in automotive and aviation domains that we are focused. We apply this in other domains like climate change, social science. So here we are in order to we think we can contribute on this area also, in the area of creating more reliable systems, not only in the automotive problems, but on beyond that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Axel. Okay, so next up is Juan Arrieta. After that, we have Aizegul Ugar and then Ozegan Sari.
Yeah, okay.
Juan,
can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you very well.
Perfect.
I see your slides, so please go ahead.
Great. Well, first of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. My name is Juan Arrieta. I come from IDECO. This is a Spanish RTO in the northern Spain, specialized on advanced manufacturing and industrial production technologies. And we are thinking of how to integrate the multitask robotics, just putting together machining, vision, inspection, and even additive manufacturing. Next. That's it. So we are interested in these two topics that has been already presented by the European Commission colleagues. Never mind if RIA or IA, we are always thinking on how to reach till industrial application, market applications, and sorting out, giving some replies to previously identified industrial challenges. Our objective is to put together in any proposal for the near future, first of all, smart mechatronics and software compensations in order to sort out the stiffness and accuracy problem that any robotic system may have. Then our idea is to integrate machining or even polishing in robotics, never mind if for metallic or composite parts, can be applied both materials. Not only machining, but also we have in mind to integrate in process vision and inspection. So measurement and inspection also integrated at robotic parts. As you can imagine, previously we need to sort out all the stiffness and lack of accuracy that the robots have. And even we have in mind some additional tentative functionalities like mobility, AM, or even handling. Well, since we are in ADRA, it's not only about robotics, so digitization layer is also there. So everything about data analytics, edge and cloud computing, local apps, the connectors from IDS or AAS, links to platforms like Gaia-X are there. And we are always thinking on data that are fair, this FAIR. Before making anything with data, we need to be sure that data reliability and data cleaning has been sorted out. Next. So what we are looking for at the moment, trying to interact with technology providers in robotics and in digital fields. Natural language programming is also there, human-machine interfaces, and you can imagine that if we are thinking on an interaction between among humans, robots, and machines, the collision avoidance systems is a must. Okay, system integrators are also there. Honestly and frankly speaking, what we are looking for is a project coordinator, because at the moment we don't have the resources to lead it, but we have ideas, industrial use cases, some other partners that we are in contact with, but we would need a project coordinator. Next. Very quickly, these are the fields where we are working on in robotics and in AI. I will not go into technical detail, since we are very closely linked to the largest machine tool industrial building group in Spain. We try to bring industrial ecosystems in here, machine builders, also robotics players, end users, and some technology providers that may put some added value in here. Apart from putting robots and data together, all these data are driving us to a scenario of application of AI for manufacturing. Can be applied both from the predictive maintenance and servitization perspective, or from the process optimization.
Thanks a lot, Juan. I think we have to.
That's all. That's all.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks to you.
All right, so then we move to Aizegul Ugar. Again, I hope I pronounce it correctly. Aizegal, are you here? I see you're in the list, but we don't hear you yet. So we still don't hear you.
She's there, just her camera just turned on.
All right, okay.
Aizegal.
Aizegal, do you hear us? Yes, I see you, but
Ayşegül Hanım, we don't hear you.
yes. So otherwise, maybe we can see that we have Osik Ansari ready. So maybe we can switch places. And in the meantime, Aizegal, you can sort out your microphone issue. Is it okay, Ozegan?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so let's just put up your slides. So
Can you hear me?
Yes, so that's Uzigar.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, so sorry, Ozegan, then we go back to the original plan then.
Yeah, sure. Yes, my name is Ayşegül Uçar. I'm a professor in Mechatronic Engineering Department in Fırat University in Turkey. We are coordinating a project. Next slide, please. Yes. We are preparing a proposal Horizon CL4 2023 Digital Emerging 0101. Our objective is next step autonomy in human-robot interaction to reach the point where robots are able to autonomously adapt in order to socially interact with people in an everyday working environment. Next slide, please. We have some partners already, some power partners, but we need more partners about robotics and AI companies interested in any kind of autonomy, such as collaborative, collective, cooperative. We are looking for some partners topics of renewable energy installation, such as wind turbines, photovoltaics farm, or in mountains or city, or patient handling. We are looking for industry, SME, RTD centers partners. In addition, we have SSH partner, but we need one more SSH partner. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Aizegul. And then we move on to Ozegan Sari, then Aize Güventürk, Gayagat Bazodogan. Ozegan, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Özgecan, and I'm here to introduce to RoboLaunch, an innovative company in the field of robotics. Next slide, please. I'd like to briefly give some background information about our company. RoboLaunch was founded in 2020 in Turkey, and we are a team of 10 people now. And our expertise includes robotics, cloud computing, and 5G. And here you can see some of our partners. And we specialize in both software and hardware side of the robotics. And as part of our EU project experience, we are involved in a consortium under Horizon Europe. And our project is currently under evaluation. And in this project, we will be developing a 5G and cloud-connected autonomous agricultural robot. And here is also a list of potential codes we identified that might be suitable for us for future collaborations. And next slide, please. And our cloud robotics platform, which is the main product, provides a robot agnostic technology that enables the integration of any kind of robot with the platform. And this platform empowers users to develop new functionalities, simulate in virtual environments, deploy application to real robots, and operate physical robots remotely from a web browser. Next slide, please. And we also have expertise in robot design and manufacturing. And we have 3 different robots in the scope. Our first robot, we named it Cloudy, is an open source robot for learning and practicing robotics. And secondly, we have a robot for agricultural use cases. And this one is for moving grasses, but we are currently started developing a laser weeding robot with a national funding as well. And the last one is our inspection robot. And we also developed a 5G cloud robotics use case with this robot on top of our cloud platform to detect anomalies in the factory. Next slide, please. And to summarize, we have the ability to provide both hardware and software solutions combined with our cutting-edge cloud robotics technology. And we are now looking for consortiums to support with our products and expertise. And you can reach me from my email if you want to discuss further for potential collaborations. And thank you all for listening.
Thanks much, Özgecan, also for keeping time. Next up is Ayşe Güven Türk.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you and we see you.
Me, Ayşe from Sestek. Sestek is a conversational AI company, and we are operating in this field since 2000. And we are developing in-house technologies, 100% in-house. And these are speech recognition, where transcribing speech to text and vice versa is text-to-speech technology. And with those technologies, we are blending and developing products, near-to-market products, which are conversational AI, where smart assistants can be developed, or chatbots you may think of. And conversational biometrics is actually where we are using authenticating people to a system via their voice rather than a keyword or password, or let's say typing and fingerprint. And in the analytics part, we are actually doing contact point analysis of the customer representatives. And next slide, please. We have a project idea about Human 0103 because it's directly targeting us. It's NLU and interaction in advanced language technologies. It's a vehicle. It's based about the human-machine interactions, again, with the context-aware components, and making between different languages human-to-human interaction. Next slide, please. We were an SME until the November 2022. Therefore, we are not having a coordination expertise. For that reason, we are looking for a coordinator. Currently, we are an industrial partner, but since we were an SME, we didn't have that opportunity to coordinate a project. And also, we can add our values of our assets to a consortium if any is being building currently. And also, since we are near to market, we can bring like use cases from retail, insurance, and finance sector. And next slide, please. And we prepared EOE for that, context aware, and we can bring actual potential topics to that call with our NIV topic detection, unstructured data utilization, and Q&A based intent finding. And of course, there is a content flow for context aware intent detection, which we described. But if there is anyone interested, we can discuss like in more details if you can contact me. And on the right hand side, you can see our expertise where we can be.
Thank you, Ayşe. So we have to stop here. Thanks a lot for your presentation. So next up, Katega Bazdogan, then we have Gökçe Duman and Zeynep Yumrutas.
The names are not so easy to pronounce, George.
No, so but maybe you can do a better job there.
Yeah, my name is Çağatay Bastogun. There is a hook at the bottom of the C. That's why it's pronounced Çağatay. Is it like CH? So I'm a faculty member in mechanical engineering and computational science programs at Koç University. Koç University is a research university located in Istanbul, Turkey. And I've been there since 2002. And I'm directing the robotics and mechatronics laboratory over there. And I have a group of 10 students, 5 masters and 5 PhD students. And I'm working in the area of human-robot interaction. So I'm looking for partners or joining projects in that area. So in this regard, like Digital Emerging 0102 call, which is focusing on human-robot interaction, is interesting for me. So I'm interested in partnering with the others in that area. Maybe the next slide, please. So before joining to Koç University, I work in different institutions. So my primary education in the United States. So before the Koç University, I worked for Jet Propulsion Laboratory, where I work with the mobile robots, which are moving on the surface of planet Mars. And before the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, I was at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology working on force-reflecting robotic arms, which are also known as haptic interfaces. And before that, I was at Northwestern University Research Park, and I was working on medical simulation and robotics. So, I mean, you can see from this background is I have a background in robotics. If you can go to the next slide, I can talk about our more recent focus. So during the last 5 years, we more focus on human-robot interaction particularly. So we're integrating artificial intelligence, robotics, and AR, VR concepts in our projects. As you can see, we have many projects, ongoing projects like collaborative drilling, robot-assisted polishing, collaborative manipulation of objects are some of the projects going on in my laboratory. And we like to continue working in this area. And I like to emphasize that we have lots of experience with KUKA and UR robots and also several different types of sensors. Thank you very much for your time, and please feel free to contact me if you are interested in more about our projects and research. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Çağatay.
Çağatay. Say Çağatay, it's easy. Yeah, thank you.
I'll practice that. Next up is Gökçe Dümen.
Hi, it's called Gökçe.
Gökçe. Well, I'm becoming fluent in Turkish after this session. So we see you, we have your slides, so please go ahead.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine being able to create an advertisement that people actually would like to engage with. That's the power of conversational advertising, and I'm Gökçe, co-founder and managing partner of Ingosa, a revolutionary conversational marketing platform. Next, please. At Ingosa, we believe that the key to successful advertising is understanding and catering to the preferences of your target audience. That's why we have developed a conversational advertising platform that does just that. We provide a human-centered approach to technology development that is aligned with European social and ethical values, as well as sustainability. Next, please. Our product demonstrates the value of human-machine collaboration and interaction by improved effectiveness with the power of conversational advertising. You see an actual screenshot from one of our customers, Volkswagen's conversational display ads. With conversational display ads, consumers can actively engage in a personalized, interactive conversation with a brand, creating a unique, personalized journey for the consumer, driving deeper engagement and improving the effectiveness of advertising across the entire purchase funnel. Next, please. To apply for the calls and to make our product better and better, we are open to partner with industries and SMEs, as well as academics working on big data, synthetic data, and usage of that data. Next, please. Our product can guide people from awareness to action by providing a full funnel approach in one single ad. And we are a dream team ready to do always more, who have powers like business development, marketing, software, strategic growth, and the future of advertising. Thanks for listening.
Thanks much, Gökçe. Next up is Zeynep Yumrutas. Then we have Hilal Özdemir and Erol Sahin. Zeynep. Okay, so I think we're all set. Can you, we don't hear you yet.
Now you can hear me?
Yes, now we hear you.
Is it okay for you for now?
Yeah, it's perfect. So go ahead.
Perfect. So my name is Zeynep Yumurtaş. So I'm working at FirePlus as a fundraising and project engineer. So next slide, please. So a brief information about FirePlus. So FirePlus is a full system automotive tier 1 company which produces plastic systems for global and also local OEMs. So as FirePlus, we design, develop, and manufacture vehicle plastic subparts as a interior, exterior body parts, electronic base, sealing and lighting system, and also IP modules. So our core competencies are material improvement, product development, process engineering, painting, coating, mold design, mold manufacturing, and also prototyping and analyzing and test skills. So FirePlus has a strong technical capability in terms of robots and PLC programming skills, and also all the injection molding machines operate simultaneously with 3-axis and 6-axis robots. So we have approximately 2,000 employees, 4 R&D centers, and 10 production locations around the world. We are based in Turkey, but we have plants in Thailand, Romania, Slovakia, and so on. So these are the customer portfolio. Next slide, please. We produce plastic parts not only for commercial, but also for passenger vehicles. So you can see that the industry products, I would like to highlight that. Every plastic product that you can see in cars, except bumpers, we produce in our plants. So in these hexagonal shapes, you can see our innovation strategies and also our competencies. I would like to highlight that our digital transformation teams continues their R&D studies on AI technology, machine learning, image processing solutions, supported by our end-to-end integrated digital facility infrastructure in order to just develop their activities in the field of Industry 4.0. We also try to strengthen our timely precision control and product life cycle data with PLM systems and robotic process automation on the digitalization path. So we also have competencies on design and development, manufacturing technologies, and also electronics. Next slide, please.
Can you quickly wrap up, Zeynep?
Yeah, sure. So these are our interest call topics. We have a couple of this AI data and robotic related project. We have more than 11 EU funded projects. These are the related and previous funded projects. So you can contact me if you wanna partner as a use case provider. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Zeynep. So next up we have Hilal Özdemir, then Erol Sahin and Sarah Melek.
Hello.
Hello, yes,
One
we
of
see
the
you.
easiest name I think I have from Turkey side.
Thank you for that.
I am Hilal from Koçtaş. We are a large enterprise operating in home improvement retailing sector. Next slide, please. Our R&D center is located in Istanbul, and we have more than 350 stores around Turkey. We are mostly interested in the robotics calls. One of them is novel paradigms and approaches towards AI-driven autonomous robots. This is an research and innovation action. Alternatively, we are interested in large-scale pilots on transport AI data and robotics addressing key social challenges. And industrial leadership in AI data and robotics, advanced human-robot interaction. As Koçtaş, we are providing a use case, a operational robot which can which can move autonomously, have the ability to map the store from end to end, make gap analysis to detect the finished products on a specific array, and can make markdown analysis, which means comparing product prices between arrays and cash boxes. And the robot can control processes to inform the users and create alerts. With the following objectives, we are aligned with the goals to produce an autonomous operational robot which can move in a dynamic and complex environment and can handle the routine repeated tasks according to the sector it is used. Next slide, please. In addition to previous use case, we are also interested in natural language understanding and interaction in advanced language technologies. We can integrate voice response systems, NLPs, to our robots as well as kiosk and our selected race. So we can provide information on selected products and answer customers' questions. We are a large enterprise and looking for partners from different types of partners. So it can be from industry, SME, R&D centers, universities, or different user groups. We are looking for competences about AI development for complex tasks and some new use case partners from different sectors. We will be interested in prototyping, programming, system integration, dissemination, and engineering both. Next slide, please. Now we are offering roles, RTAP, move-based developments, hardware design with 3D printing, and autonomous charging. We are looking for partners from different sectors. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Yal. And then we have Erol Sahin, and then Sarah Melek Yalnyaka.
Okay.
Erol.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you and we see you, and we have your slides, so we're all set to go.
Okay. This is Erol Sahin. I'm the director for Mete Romer. It's the Middle East Technical University Center for Robotics and AI, located in Ankara, Turkey. Mete is the leading public technical university in Turkey, and I think it ranks it's like the 1 or 2 in EU project participation. And here I'm representing more than 60 faculty members ranging from computer science, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, as well as other fields like architecture, civil engineering, and etc. At the moment, we are still being basically establishing the center where we have like more than 30 researchers active, along with 1,200 meters square of space. Can we next slide, please? Okay. So the Mete Romer, which was formed 2 years ago, we are basically creating a lot of state-of-the-art robotics infrastructure, and we have received state-level funding, and we are now on our way towards becoming a digital innovation hub for both academia and industry in Turkey. And now we are targeting almost all the goals that were announced within this session. And since we are probably being one of the most prominent center for robotics and AI in Turkey, we'd like to be involved in CSA proposals. It will strengthen any proposal that we will get in. And moreover, we are known for our expertise in swarm systems, cognitive robotics, human-robot interaction, in factory assembly lines, indoor-outdoor drone systems, robotics inspection, legged robots, unmanned surface and underwater platforms for surveillance, autonomous driving, and computer vision. Next, please. Okay, so here I'm just showing you a brief, basically a snippet of the platforms that we are working along with the research. And apart from these platforms, we also have created, huge indoor, for example, motion capture systems and a mechatronics lab, workshop, and etc. And at the moment, well, basically, I have an active Pathfinder project towards developing a robotic bees to operate in beehives as a swarm. And I have been personally active in the EU project for more than 20 years and have acquired more than 3 million euros. So basically, if you're interested in looking for a strong partner in Turkey from academia, Mete Romer should be high on your list. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Erol. All right, so let's move on to Sarah Melek Yalcinkaya.
I think you are really very well. That's all correct. Thank you. And good afternoon, everyone. I am Sarah Melek Yalcinkaya, and I am an RD engineering at Oradata, which is the leading cloud services and consultancy firm. We are more than 100 data engineers and data scientists, which make us a SME. So can you go to next slide, please? Our main goal is to help organizations to embrace their power of the cloud and AI, unlocking new opportunities for growth and innovation. Whether you are looking to implement AI in the cloud or on your own premises, we have the expertise and experience to help you achieve your goals. Our expertise span across different industries, including banking, manufacturing, telecom, which we are part of the International Telecommunication Union, gaming, and retail. We have strong understanding of the latest technology and the trends in the industries, and we are passionate about using this knowledge to drive innovation and value on your projects. For next slide, please. At Oradata, as you can see, we provide end-to-end services, but rather than these end-to-end services, we also have extensive experience on our own research and development projects, including AI application on both cloud and, as I mentioned earlier, on premises. Our expertise and experience set us apart, and we are eager to bring that value to your Horizon projects too. Let Oradata help you unlock your new opportunities through innovative and cutting-edge technologies, including AI applications. Thank you for your time and consideration. As you can see, we are interested on these calls. However, we can apply our new technologies and AI application on your other calls too. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Sarah Milek. Then we go on to Matthias Brandstötter, and then Domenico Guida and Aiden O'Mahony.
So
Matthias.
hello everybody. So we heard a lot from AI and software related solution providers and also from technologies in Turkey, thank you. But we work much more on hardware and data related research challenges. So my name is Matthias Brandstötter. I'm with the Carinthian University of Applied Sciences located in Austria. And I had the Admire Research Center, which is the largest research group at our university. And we are working in the fields of additive manufacturing, robotics, and sensors. And whenever it's possible, then we try to combine these fields for different applications. And you can see an example here with smart grippers. Next slide, please. And for instance, where you can use this technologies is these two different calls, but only as an example. So for physical support for helpers in disaster areas or any kind of smart grippers for the manipulation of any robots, for instance, on a drone or something. Next slide, please. And here you can see our competence fields in the group. We are looking strongly on the materials and the structure for additive manufacturing, so topology optimization, and also the lightweight design. We have many projects in the field of healthcare, so prosthesis and also orthesis. We have do some optimization and work also in the field of robotics, like you can see here with a mobile manipulator. And yeah, we're looking for any kind of partners who needs such an expertise, who needs the combination of additive manufacturing, intelligent robotics, and sensors. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Matthias. And then we have Domenico Guida.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. And sorry, I'm not showing my face, but I'm at a client premises. So sorry also for any kind of background noise you may hear from here. So I'm here today to present the idea of a team of industrial innovation advisors active in Sicily. Next slide, please. Some of you may already know me because being active working with innovation agency from Emilia-Romagna region and coordinating one of the pilot actions for artificial intelligence. We have already cooperated with ADRA, and it's been a pleasure to be here today. We are a team of 4 skilled and experienced professionals active in digital and sustainable innovation projects management and proposing. We are based in Sicily, but we have ongoing collaborations with the manufacturing SMEs and innovation agencies from Italian and European regions. Next slide, please. Sentences are on the of
Domenico, your audio is cutting up. So I'm afraid we lost you.
Yeah, we cannot hear him, Joost.
Okay.
I think we should
this
move.
particular
He's breaking up.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. And maybe you can inform.
Sorry, you missed me?
Yes, the Domenico, sorry, the audio was cutting up.
Oh, really sorry for that. Okay, just to be shortly, I was just listing the technical knowledge inside our team about the digital technologies for digital industrial innovation, cultural heritage, and smart health, but also in the process and product design or redesign, prototyping, dairy manufacturing, and sustainable materials and processes. Next slide, and I will close shortly. We have several operative connections both in Italy with Enterprise Europe Network local nodes, for example, or regional industrial associations, with European Digital Europe, digital innovation hubs, and we are involved in several regional funded projects. We also have connections in Europe, and we would love to exploit them to design new ideas for projects. So, to close, we are available for consortium building, proposal writing, task coordination, and technical advisory, or also to discuss the involvement of one of our client manufacturing SMEs in a future consortium. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot, Domenico. So next up is Aiden O'Mahony. Then we have Caroline Lancelot and Tom Elbank. Aiden is with your slides, so I think we're all ready.
Good, thanks. Hi all, so my name is Aidan O'Mahony. I'm a Senior Principal Research Scientist in the Dell Research Organisation based in Cork in Ireland. The team in Cork, we've participated in funded research for approximately 10 years, stretching back to FP7. We participated in Horizon 2020, Horizon Europe, and also Irish state funded research. The team, in Dell, we provide, we can serve as a use case provider. We participate as research partners, and we also serve as technical coordinators. We're coordinating a project in Horizon Europe currently to do with green data privacy. So the project or the proposal we're currently looking at is how to secure supply chains using edge computing, zero trust security, and AI-driven processing. So the specific topic that we're interested in is that of Data 0104, the cognitive computing continuum. The project objectives is to enhance the security of supply chains using edge computing and by taking advantage of zero trust principles. We also want to improve the data processing efficiency at the edge by leveraging artificial intelligence. And we want to ensure that sensitive information is protected and data privacy is maintained. So as you can imagine, there is expected good synergies between this project idea and the cluster 4. So next slide, please. So in terms of competencies and skills wanted, we're interested in talking to any potential partners who have zero trust experience or supply chain, edge computing, or AI-driven data processing. In terms of the types of partners, we're interested in talking to universities, research institutes, SMEs, standards organizations, or any other research partners who might be interested in talking to us. The work to be performed, I suppose, is research, technology transfer and software development. And final slide, please. And in terms of what we can provide, of course, supply chain manufacturing experience, edge computing. We manufacture and develop various edge technologies. We're interested in zero trust, data management, and AI. So that's me. Thanks for listening.
Thanks a lot, Aiden. Then we have Caroline. Welcome.
Yes, I'm here.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi all. So I'm representing Audencia Business School. So we are a private university from academia in France, and we are specialized in human, social, societal, and ethical aspects of technology and AI. Next slide, please. And so we would like to offer our expertise to a consortium willing to have proposal in the following call two for this year on human 0102 and 0101 and 0102, and for next year human 0106 and 0107. Next slide, please. So we are experts in social science and humanities, and I'm also personally expert in digital identity, data privacy, and data protection from a user perspective. We have experience as participant in Edge 2020 project, and I'm myself experienced as expert evaluator for the European Commission for more than 10 years now. As already mentioned, we would like to offer our expertise in human, social, societal, and economic impact aspect of the proposal. We are also specialized in users' requirements and trustworthiness, and in AI and ethics. Next slide, please. And so we were looking forward joining a consortium with a need for SSH expert. What we can bring to such a consortium is leading a work package dedicated to social and humanities aspects. And of course, we could also help with communication and dissemination activities. And so yes, feel free to reach out if you have any project that needs ethical and social science and humanities expertise. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Next up is Tom Ebank. Then we have Gregor Kowalski and Philip Erika. Tom.
Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, we hear you. Yes. We see you. We have your slides. So.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Tom Eubank from the University of Liège. I'm a research engineer. So the University of Liège is in Belgium, and we are working with a team on the IntegreAI project, in which we develop AI-based robotic solutions. Next slide, please. So the expertise we can offer is the programming of robots, but we are also specialists in artificial intelligence, more specifically in deep reinforcement learning. And our particularity is that we train our AIs using physical robotic simulators. So in the simulators, you not only have the visual, but the robot can also interact with the objects it manipulates. And of course, all of that would not be possible without some software engineering skills. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So speaking about software, we developed a software to train robots in simulation using reinforcement learning. And the policies that we are training in simulation, we are able to transfer them directly in the real world with the same level of performance. So in our project, we focused on picking tasks, but our software is not limited to that. It can be adapted to other kinds of tasks like assembly, fastening, and so on. Next slide, please. And so what we are looking to is to collaborate on a new project through Horizon Europe calls that I listed below. But other channels are possible. We are really open, and we are also looking to find new use cases on which to showcase our technology. So feel free to contact me if you have any idea of projects or use cases on which we could collaborate. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Tom. So then let's move on to Gregor.
Grzegorz, yes, Polish names are also hard to pronounce for foreigners. Hello, everybody. My name is Grzegorz Kowalski, and I'm a business development manager. And I want to present our offer for the upcoming calls, in which we have huge competences as well as extensive experience in participation in European projects. Next slide, please. We are the research institute, but we have also, let's say, a very strong commercial branch, and our main products are mobile robots. You can see them in the pictures. This is only a glimpse of what we have, because the family is broader. We do them from scratch, from designing through manufacturing most of the parts, assembly, selling. So we cover whole process. So we have huge experience in building such devices. We can also equip them with various accessories from third parties, from our partners, and integrate those devices into higher level systems. As you can see, they can be also autonomous. So they can perform missions by themselves only with the supervisory role of the human operator. Next slide, please. As we do things from scratch, we also do software from scratch. In terms of the robotics and AI, this is mostly covered by simulators, machine intelligence, data fusion. We have also some experience in virtual and augmented reality. And we are trying to connect these all pieces with robot operating system, but not only. We are also strongly involved in embedded systems. So we could also contribute to, let's say, systems that are without any supervision, just intelligent systems. So they can be equipped with our devices. Next slide, please. Here we can see our potential involvement. Like I said, we are experienced in research projects from various, let's say, sources of funds, and these are, let's say, the task that we could cover in the projects. We are also the industrial contact point for industry in our country, so you can contact us if you have a need to find some partners for your industrial projects as well. Thank you very much. Next slide is only my contacts. Thank you.
Thank you, Gregor. So next up is Erika Fulop, then Emra Erkin, and Daniel Pina. Erika, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for including me. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
You're fine, yes.
Okay, I will switch off my camera because I've been having connection issues, so it's safer without, I think. So this is me, and I think I'm a little bit the odd one out among the people present here, and I'm listening in. I am a professor in contemporary literature and digital humanities and creative writing in France at the University of Toulouse. And I am here because I have been in the past few years trying to build bridges between stakeholders, researchers, in technology, doing and researching and creating things, and arts and literature and the studies about it, and artists who create and use those tools and who've been exploring, often at the forefront of research, immediately taking possession and exploiting the technologies as they were invented. And I think that this process is pretty interesting in terms of highlighting some aspects of technologies which are not perhaps considered or realized when those technologies are created, despite research in terms of use cases, etc. So I am based in literature and languages, and I have been researching. I have a particular interest in generative art and literature, which is obviously very much connected with contemporary AI research. Including natural language processing and image and text interactions and combinations in different ways. In addition to trying to work with artists to explore these technologies and trying to get involved with researchers working on the computing and development side of of this research. I am very much interested in the problem of preservation and how we archive and how we keep track of these innovations today and for the future. This is a quite important issue in art and humanities research, but I think that we obviously have to start with what is happening on the art and technology side of things and how you guys preserve or keep track of and document your projects. So I would like to create links there as well. I forgot to say that I belong to two research laboratories. One is involved in heritage questions, but also more related to cultural heritage, physical cultural heritage. So I'm trying to develop more involvement in immaterial, well, fakely immaterial digital heritage on the digital humanities and digital arts and literature side. And also I'm working with the American partners at the Washington State University, Vancouver, at the Electronic Literature Lab, where again, they are very much interested in preservation issues. And one of the biggest questions for us today is what we do with those kinds of experimentations that happen with AI, both for practical uses and for artistic uses and human-oriented uses in the non-practical perspective, so to speak. So I am here really to see what everyone is doing and looking for partners potentially for future projects without having very specific directions in addition to these general directions in which I would like to be going. So I have been taking notes and might be getting in touch with some of you, and please feel free also to get in touch with me if you are interested in having some involvement in your project from the arts and humanities and creative side of things, because I think that there is a very interesting interaction that can happen in those levels as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Erika. All right, so then let's move on to Emra Erkin. Biloluglu. You guys are not making it very easy for me. Huh?
No problem at all. Thank you for trying. So we could have created so far maybe one or two projects with the presented ideas maybe. So thank you. I'm Erkin, an R&D international project expert from Coşkun Holding. Coşkun is a tier 1 company for mostly automotive and aviation industry. And we are also interested in energy and environmental technologies and informatics as well, with strong focus on R&D. I'm here to explore collaboration opportunities with consortium in the field of digital emerging and human calls, but also it could be extended to the relevant calls that you might also see a potential collaboration between our entities. So next slide, please. Okay. Regarding our interests in digital emerging and human calls, we are particularly interested in the following calls that you can see here. Then the first one, 0101, novel paradigm and approaches towards AI-driven autonomous robots, which, as Mr. Antonio highlighted, requires the inclusion of end users. In this regard, we can provide industry-specific use cases that align with the technology being developed and in your concept as well. And for the 0102 industrial leadership in AI, data and robotics, advanced human-robot interaction, we have several concrete use cases. And actually, we are now developing those use cases with several entities from, for example, from Germany or other research institutes in Europe. We have actually we are also capable of generating additional use cases that could enhance your research and improve the business and exploitation strategies regarding this topic. And for the human 0122 extended reality for industry 5.0, we might also provide some end user scenarios for the industrial sectors like automotive. Coşkun can bring value through its use cases. Additionally, Coşkun has an education foundation that creates cutting-edge occupational trainings, and so we can also demonstrate our capabilities not only in industrial side but also in training, occupational trainings as well. And 01.12, we can provide use case in the area of automotive part simulation that current state-of-the-art solutions are unable to effectively address now. So we welcome also opportunities to collaborate in any other topics where you believe we can bring value to. And next slide, please. So we can skip this as well. So
can you wrap up in two, 3 words?
Okay, so we have robotic welding lines, robotic additive manufacturing lines in metal manufacturing, and we are interested in closed-loop systems for part quality inspections, etc., for manufacturing processes, and also AI simulations are another topics that we are interested as well. Thank you for listening.
Thanks a lot. All right, so let us move on to Daniel Pina, then Mark Lengele, and François Ineris. Daniel.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me fine?
Yes, we hear you fine.
Okay.
And we have your slides.
Great. Thank you. So my name is Daniel Pina. I do project coordination of digitalization and Industry 4.0 at INEGI. Next slide, please. So we are an RTO based in Porto, Portugal. We do several projects depending on the TRL level. We can do either research and development projects, or with the companies we do innovation and technology transfer projects. We also do some services. We have over 200 international partners and almost 600 customers. We have around 300, but we are still growing, 300 employees. Many PhDs, and we are mostly based on, we work mostly on mechanical engineering and management. Can you please go to the next slide? Sorry. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So in the context of digitalization, we have many projects and many technical talent on robotics and automation. We do either self-regulating processes, we do projects with quality control and inspection, we do optimization of manufacturing processes, we also do projects with remote monitoring, and for all of these, we use as resources, technical resources, we use neural networks, artificial vision, we do sensorization and integration of these sensors through retrofitting processes. We do simulation and digital twins. We have some expertise in IoT and edge computing. And we're also starting to do augmented reality interfaces for all these machines. So next slide, please. So in the context of projects, we are already working with the AI in Dating Robotics Association in one project, Irashi, for AI in robotics for a safe human-oriented industry. And within these contexts, we also are working on exoprothesis and exoskeletons projects, and others all focused on robotics and AI. We are also part of an European Digital Innovation Hub, the Produtech DIH, and we also work with EIT manufacturing. So this is
Thanks a lot, Daniel.
Thank you.
All right, so then we have Mark Lengele.
Yes, hello, thank you for allowing me to present Machine Sight, of which I'm the CTO. Machine Sight offers expert developments and solutions in the field of robotics and intelligent vision. Next slide, please. More specifically, we develop virtual operator solutions. We are a smart alliance between robotics, cobotics, and vision, especially in the context of visual inspection. For example, visual inspection of pharmaceutical containers, vials, flasks, and so on, or quality control in the aeronautic industry. We have therefore listed here the course in which we can imagine that we could take part. we imagine our participation rather as a development support to increase the technological maturity of the subject. Thus, we are looking more for partners to collaborate. Next slide, please. Indeed, we can offer our expertise in two main areas as a complete integrator for mechanics, robotics, automation, and assembly, and as a vision expert with many references of AI approach in the industry. Our major added value is to be able to combine these two areas and develop what we name virtual operators, such operators that will help humans in their daily quality control tasks. So please feel free to contact us to collaborate. So, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Mark. All right, then we have François Ineris and João Silverio just after.
Okay, so my name is François Massé and I am from Ineris, which is a French institute on industrial risk. And I'm in charge of a unit that works on safety and security of industrial facilities and electronics and software devices. Next slide, please. So we think that different suppliers are trying to offer safety devices based on image analysis, and that the characteristic of this embedded software makes them unsuitable for an evaluation according to functional safety rules defined, for example, by the IEC 61508-3 standard. Because they are too complex, they are not 100% testable, and they can have non-deterministic behavior. So, as well as the proposal of a new machine regulation published on January 25 raised the issue of the use of deep learning to perform safety function. And the question is also raised in other areas. So our objective is to work on the regulatory or volunteer certification of such devices according to the machine directive or the IEC 61508, for example. And so we will work on functions, safety function with maybe limited autonomy, but high criticality. So we have to think of what is certifiable in terms of safety function on certification level. What are the development process to be adopted in order to achieve a certification? Which technique and measure to use and at each step of the development process? What can we do for development, verification, and validation phases? We have to work on how to define and validate the data sets, the training and validation processes, how to define the limits of use of the assessed systems, etc., etc. And for, obviously, we have to work on how to translate the performance metrics of the IA in probability of failure of a safety function. So we are interested in all the projects that will allow us to develop a global approach for certification and to work on some of the specific issues that I have listed. An approach based on large-scale demonstrators can also be interesting. Okay, so next slide, please.
Can you please wrap up in a few words, François?
So we aim to focus on image analysis and deep learning. We work with various European notified bodies through our involvement in standardization and their coordination in the vertical group 11. And we wish to integrate suppliers and users and to define use case and academics to work on scientific and technical issues. Final slide, please. So our involvement in the project will be largely linked to our position as a notified body for machinery directive. We have a strong expertise in functional safety of electronic and software devices. And this is the expertise that we will offer in this project.
Thanks a lot, François,
for your attention.
Okay, then we move on to João Silverio, and after that we have Gonzalo Garcia.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, we hear you, we
Perfect.
see you, and we have your slides.
All right, perfect. Good morning, everybody. My name is João Silverio. I'm with the German Aerospace Center, DLR. And today I'm going to give a pitch about our expertise in robot learning for space and terrestrial domains and how who can potentially contribute to proposals in the ongoing open calls. Next slide, please. So first of all, what we're looking for is specifically a consortium to join and potentially to proposals that are already currently in preparation. And regarding who we are the Institute of Robotics and Mechatronics, one of the 50 institutes of DLR, which is located in Munich, so in the south of Germany. Next slide, please. So our potential contributions are in two main axes. So the first one regards use cases and state-of-the-art robots and systems. So first of all, we are open and happy to discuss use cases in the space domain, specifically in space assistance, orbital robotics, and planetary exploration, which map to terrestrial use cases like service and medical and healthcare robotics, future manufacture, and field robotics. We're also happy to discuss applications and use cases that rely on our state-of-the-art robots, specifically Sarah, which is our new generation lightweight robot, Justin, our humanoid robot, and our surgical robot, Miro. Next slide, please. The other direction in which we can provide contributions and expertise is connected specifically to my research group, the Interactive Skill Learning Group, in which we investigate techniques for learning from demonstration, particularly learning from demonstration of tasks that require force, learning and adaptation of force actions, reinforcement learning, where we do some locomotion and also manipulation. And we're happy to have in our team the main developer of the Stable Baselines framework, and also shared control and assisted teleoperation enhanced by learning techniques and machine learning algorithms. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Yao. Then we go on to Gonzalo, sorry, for the last pitch of the day.
Yeah, actually, this is Guillermo Perez. I don't see my slide right now. Yeah, this is okay. So yeah, thank you very much for staying until the end. My name is Guillermo Perez. I'm the CEO of a company called 4i Intelligent Insights. We are providing multimodal dialogue capabilities mainly in industry and also in social robotics. Next slide, please. Yeah, we believe we're experts in conversational dialogue systems, specifically in those solutions that imply multimodal interactions with voice and vision, and more specifically, those that are running on the edge, as opposed to other solutions that require cloud access. We are involved in many research projects worldwide, both with big corps like Airbus, IBM, Cisco, and also research institutions like Honda Research Institute, Indiana University, Sydney University, and among others. Next slide, please. So, as I said before, we are providing horizontal capability, like any human machine or human robot interface, implying multimodal interactions, and we can play a role there. So we can fit in many topics. So we are looking for any consortium in which multimodal dialogue capabilities make sense. Like there are several ones listed there, but we are not limited to those. And yeah, that's it from my side. Thanks again for allocating this slot to me.
Thanks a lot. So that concludes our pitching session for today and the info day. So I'd like to thank you all for participating. In particular, also the people participating to the pitching session, so that provided a pitch. So the session will be recorded and uploaded to our YouTube channel. So that's the ADRA YouTube channel, so that your presentations will be published on the ADRA website. So then I also would like to extend gratitude to my colleagues Joanne Iron and Nicolas Zazeri from Trust IT and the ADRA-E project that helped organize this info day. So many thanks for that. Okay, so have a very pleasant rest of the afternoon, and look forward to meeting you all again during a next occasion. So thanks a lot and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.